be able to pop on the Tigers at 1 o'clock this afternoon and watch them. And he put on Bally's today, and he's like, Tony, what is this? And I'm like, you're not going to be able to watch the Tigers today, Dad. And he's like, that's not – he's furious, like furious.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to hook him up with Bally? Are you going to find a way that he can stream it, or is he just going to – how are you going to solve it?
It's going to be the 97.1 in the garage.
There we go.
Sitting in the launcher, listening to you guys.
I'm not complaining about that.
No.
I mean, listen, if that's the unintended
Sounds like a good
consequence,
option.
yeah, I was going to say.
Right, exactly. Great option. Have a good day, guys.
Hey,
You
thanks,
too.
Tony. Tom?
I have a question here. How about it's a tease? It'll be after the update.
Oh, boy.
I just don't understand why people aren't going to do this. I don't get it.
What do you mean? Aren't going to do what?
And making a switch. Just
Oh.
adjusting.
The Johns of the world?
Yeah,
I stream.
I can't
But
seem to
just
get a
don't cross- I
logical
just don't
answer
cross
to
them.
it.
He doesn't cross the
Why
streets.
don't you get the Hulu cable like Jim has?
Yeah, come on. Get with it, old man.
I don't
I say
understand.
it to a guy who's
It
not
has
even 50
everything
years
that you-
old.
It pretty much has everything that you need.
John, you're deep in thought. We'll get to Falar. You can respond to the personal
He looks
shots.
so pissed.
No, it's okay.
I gotta leave.
We'll talk about it when we come back.
All right, perfect. 97.1.
Brought to you by Hamilton Chevrolet. Two polar opposite games for the Tigers in their doubleheader with different end results. A 2-1 loss featuring stellar pitching by Jack Flaherty and his 14 strikeouts, and then an offensive onslaught that took down the Cardinals with 14 hits, 11 runs, and 11-6 final. And now they have a winning April for the first time in 8 years. That from right here with Costa and Jansen. Also, the Tigers, 17-13. They remain third in the AL Central. The series and homestand going to wrap up at 1 o'clock this afternoon as they're set to play one more against St. Louis before hitting the road to NYC and Cleveland. Some frustration with Detroit fans out there as Xfinity Cable drops Bally Sports Detroit from their channel portfolio. Comcast and Diamond Sports could not agree on a new deal, so the station, which carries Tiger games, now unavailable to tens of thousands of more fans. The two sides, of course, blame one another in their statements. Elsewhere in baseball, more injury frustration for Mike Trout. He'll be shelved yet again, needing knee surgery for a torn meniscus, though should be returning to the diamond this year for the Angels in theory. He was very emotional addressing the media. He's played in less than half of his potential games over the past 3 years due to injuries. NBA postseason scoreboard, the Bucks survive without Giannis and Lillard, beating the Pacers 115-92. They're still down 3-2. Tyrese Maxey forcing OT at the Garden with a logo 3, and Philly beat the Knicks 112-106. They're still down 3-2, and the Cavaliers 1 win away from advancing after edging the Magic 104-103. From the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Chris Falar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
John, floor's yours.
Well, I mean, as I understand it, I still have to get internet to my house. That's a cost.
Yep.
And then I could do YouTube TV. I could do Hulu as a service you have that you get your local channels on that.
All the local channels and all your major networks. Yeah.
The price difference isn't that much different from what I pay for what I get now. Plus, I have a number of free services that come with my cable package.
Like what? Besides the internet and all the stations that you get, you
You're
won't
saying
get
extra channels, right? That's what you're
Yeah,
saying?
extra channels. I
you-
get Paramount. I get
Okay.
the Peacock. I always laugh when I say that. And there's other things. I'm just not thinking off the top of my head right now. But if I were to bundle all those together, maybe I'm paying a little bit more.
But knowing
for
you,
the convenience of all in one space.
But the sacrifices you're making with the Paramounts and the Peacocks. Okay, but you're getting the sports that you want, and to me, that is priority for somebody probably like you, but maybe not in your house. I get that and stuff. Look, I think everybody's living in the same shoes right now. If you want, having everything right now is a big challenge. Yeah. It's too much. It's too much money for everybody. So you've got to make the sacrifices.
Well,
is it BS? Yeah, but it's the world we're living in.
And for me, I'm not willing to sacrifice my local teams. Say what I want about Bally's app, and it doesn't work perfectly or really all that well at times. They're my local teams. I want to watch them on TV. If I got to go through the budget and cut something else out, to me, I want to watch my teams. And I hate that it's $20. I'm not telling you it's a good deal. I'm not advocating that people spend their hard-earned money on it. I'm just speaking as myself.
Let me ask this question about all of the streaming services. This is something that I don't know. For the live sporting events, can you record them?
Yes. Like with Hulu, I can record stuff and go back and watch it. And with Bally, all of it gets archived. So if I miss something, I can click in and rewatch it, not when it re-airs on cable, but 2 minutes later if I want.
Right. Okay. But if
I'm not trying to sound like Keating or Simo or anything. I'm just there are some perks.
If there's a TV show that you want to watch, I know that you can go to their specific apps and they stream, but sometimes those are fees as well.
Right.
Can you record anything?
Yeah, I haven't had any issues.
Okay.
I record games
just a question.
And shows. Yeah. Ticket text 248-539-9797. You heard in the update. Xfinity customers, you're not going to be able to watch Bally. You're not going to be able to watch the Tigers. And I don't want to get into the finger pointing. Is it Bally's fault? Is it Xfinity Comcast fault? The reality is we don't have the details. You can point fingers at both of them. The deal didn't get done. You can't watch your team. We want to know, are the Tigers good enough for you to shell out the $20, or are you going to make an alternate plan? 248-539-9797. Brian, you're next up. You're on 97.1.
Hi guys, I'm originally from Michigan and I'm in Pennsylvania. There's one simple solution. No one has to pay a dime to watch the games in Detroit teams. I have a Fire Stick and I jailbroke it and I downloaded this LiveNet app on there and I can watch any football, baseball game anytime I want for free. And I live in Pennsylvania. I don't have to pay a dime. Through my Fire Stick. All you do is pay for the Fire Stick, download the app, you can watch any game you want for free. So I don't have to pay a dime and I live in Pennsylvania.
How'd you jailbreak it?
It's easy, and it's not illegal, dude. It's one simple. A guy I used to work with showed me how to do it. And it's not illegal, and it's simple. Anybody can do it, dude.
No,
I have 3 of them.
Okay. Yeah.
It's free. I don't pay a dime to watch my games.
All right.
Kind of sounds like the guy who back in the day...
I still do it.
Brian, you kind of sound like the guy back in the day who'd be stealing his neighbor's internet. It's not illegal. Anybody could do it. You just hook up a couple wires and away you go. It's easy.
A little splicer here.
I have internet. All you need is an internet service, which I do. I bought a Fire Stick, hooked up to my TV, and a guy told me how to jailbreak it. It's one simple solution. It's easy in 2 seconds. And he told me, and I found out what app to download on it, and I can watch any Detroit team I want, and I live in Pennsylvania. Any football game in the country I want to watch, or baseball game, or basketball, with the LiveNet. And I don't have to pay a dime. It's free. It's simple.
John, I'm
trying to catch up.
John, I think it's free.
He's saying the same thing on repeat. So
I think it's free, and he's in Pennsylvania.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
And he's got a friend. He's got a guy.
And he doesn't pay a dime.
It's free.
Doesn't pay a dime.
He jailbreaked it.
Yeah.
Listen, I hope he's listened before because, this is something slimy Costa and Heather would do, but this is a man of integrity. Do you think he would ever do anything like this?
Colin just texted me. He said, it is illegal.
100%
Okay.
is.
How do you get sports?
We don't. We haven't had we don't have internet. We stream. I don't know. We don't watch anything at our house really.
Colin's got to obviously watch the Lions
he watches
game.
the Lions. I don't know how he does that.
Well, most football's still free except for Amazon.
He jailbreaks it. Just Fire Stick. It's easy. Someone told him how to do it. Doesn't pay a dime for it.
Even if you're
we
in
live right here in
Pennsylvania.
Metro Detroit. We don't pay a dime. It's free.
He was rolling. He was rolling on repeat.
I have no idea how we watch. We obviously we got the Lions games, but we haven't had internet. Or not internet, Xfinity.
When you said that, I'm like, are you Amish?
Yeah.
No, we haven't had cable, so we haven't had Bally Sports, and we just stream everything else. I don't know. I don't watch it, so
John doesn't drive 71 in a 70. He's not going to do that kind of stuff to get a Tigers game on TV.
True.
Within 5
75.
miles.
Yeah.
But you're not going to jailbreak or illegally pirate, copyrighted material into your home. You're not.
No,
Plenty
I'm
of people
not.
do.
No.
You're not.
But so that's the thing. Take whether it's legal or illegal out of it. It seems very complicated to just watch the Tigers.
I'm telling you, it's not complicated. It's a jailbreak. It's the Fire Stick.
Right,
you put it in your screen.
Thanks, dude.
it's easy.
Texter says, is that guy
Anyone can do it.
Is that guy from Pennsylvania or what? I'm a little unclear. Daniel and Trenton. Carl and Chesterfield, your thoughts. You're on 97.1.
All right, so I got the deal to solve everything. The thing to solve everything is everybody calm down and get DirecTV. You get DirecTV, you get Bally Sports. Problem solved.
You are
turn off
correct.
whatever cable service you have and get DirecTV.
If you switch it, yep. If you switch your cable provider, DirecTV's got it. You can watch it.
So does DirecTV now have like super fast internet service as well? Because you have to have that.
Yeah, I got the app, so I just watch.
Oh, so you only do the app on your
TV.
phone?
Yeah, you can watch it on your phone, and because I got it from my internet. I don't have it directly piped in from cable, so I got it on my TV, smart TV.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got apps on your smart TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how we do it. But so I can't get the Bally app on one smart TV. I can get it on the other TV. You can use...
It's not very smart.
We need an upgrade then.
But again, we had somebody call up earlier and talk about a VPN.
Yep.
And then you could place yourself in Seattle and be able to watch TV in Detroit. Or now we've got a Fire Stick that you need to break out of jail, and it just seems so ridiculous. And I understand here's the other thing about the streaming services, and this is one thing that delayed. Eventually everybody is going to be with streaming. Cable will go away. I understand that. But one of the things in watching Thursday night football is clicking in between things. I can't stand the spinning wheel or the pause, the delay of waiting for it to go to something else. And on Sundays, it's going to be multiple games I want to be able to go to.
Yep.
And then it's, hey, something's happening over here. Well, on my cable, I just speak into the remote, and it takes me there instantly.
You use that feature?
Oh, I use it all the time. All the time. I'm very sophisticated.
Tiger baseball.
Yeah, pretty much. Hunting shows.
There they are.
And then there's a ton of them. Choose from anyone you want. They're all free.
You could talk into a lot of these remotes now. Like I have a Roku remote.
Yeah.
You can talk into. You don't need to have cable to have that perk, John. But I will warn people who get into the world of streaming. I know you have it and you're very happy with it.
Very.
There are delays when you stream. So like when the Wings were playing, it would be a regular occurrence. I'd get a notification. Lucas Raymond has scored a goal.
Oh.
I'm looking at the TV.
They're still in the period.
Right.
Intermission.
They haven't even dropped the puck yet. Yeah. So you do have to get used to a little more of a delay. There are buffering issues, especially if you've used Bally. That's part of this discussion. It's not just are the Tigers worth it, is the Bally app worth it? We've got calls. People want to weigh in. 248-539-9797. We're going to get a bunch of your thoughts on this. Phones, ticket, text, and more. AJ Hinch at 9:35. It's 97.1.
Oh, hey. If you're looking for ways to level up your fitness, well, the YMCA is always welcoming new members with no contract and no joiner fees. And I am loving the YMCA family membership with access to indoor pools, Les Mills group fitness, hundreds of machines, all with free child watch while you work out and for less than $3 a day. And today you can try the Y for free. Visit any of the 7 Metro Detroit locations and get a free guest pass. Learn more at ymcadetroit.org and find what moves you today.
Before we take the plunge back into the callers, John, you are someone affected by this. Xfinity customer, no longer connected to Bally, can't watch the Tigers on TV. You could sign up for the Bally Sports Plus, $20 a month. You could use the credit that you will be given by Xfinity. I don't know.
Doesn't cover the entire expense.
I doubt it's going to be $20. So this becomes the reality. And listen, selfishly, hey guys, radio's free, app's free, more people listen to Dickerson, yay. Yeah. But like I realize I toggle back and forth. I have Bally Sports Plus. Some of you are going to have to figure out your own path forward here. In the age of streaming, this isn't going away. This is just maybe the start for some people where they're being told, hey, I can't watch my team on TV.
Yeah, it's to each their own. You can operate however you want. And for me, it's more of a principle matter. I'm just tired of paying for something extra, especially for something that came with what I was originally paying for. Now I know I'm going to get a credit, but it doesn't cover.
Yeah, I doubt it's going to be.
No, it's an $8 to $10 credit.
Get you halfway there, maybe.
And again, it's the $10 a month. All right, I can afford the $10 a month. It's not that.
It's the principle.
It's the principle of it, and the fact that I've downloaded the app before. I've tried to use the app before, and maybe it's better now. I mean, our listeners can call in and tell me I'm wrong, but it's always the spinning wheel, or the app would crash, or they'd have to update it, or I'd have to reload it. I'd have to take it off my phone or my device and then put it back on. It became such a pain in the butt. I don't want any part of it.
Steve in New Baltimore, you have some perspective. You're on 97.1, Steve.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking me. Cookies, welcome to the morning show, man. You've been a great addition. Fire up Chips, of course. John, you got to take a – fire up. John, you got to take a look at that bill. The nickel and diamond that Xfinity does. I made the switch to YouTube TV. I was running 3 boxes. You cut all that out. You do save a little bit of money. I mean, it's not – it's not a groundbreaking or budget saving or budget, altering move. But the Bally Sports app, that $20 a month, I'll tell you, you got to have it if you want to watch the games. But that app sucks, man. Like,
that's the point. Yeah.
I got an LG. It's terrible. I got an LG TV. It's not on LGs. My wife always gives me a hard time. We saved and got this expensive TV, and I'm sitting there watching the Wings on my phone. And it's a pain, but we're kind of just strangled into this world where Bally's just isn't a good entity, and hopefully Amazon buying them changes things, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this, and not this one moment, but this has been an issue that Bally's has had in different cities, Diamond Sports, whatever you want to call them, all over the country, which is why they're in bankruptcy. And they just keep making situations worse, and I wish they would just go away and let the team, let Major League Baseball do it differently.
And it is happening, or is supposed to happen in some markets. Yeah, I think the TV in our living room is an LG. So we have our Xbox. You can connect to an app, but then it doesn't always work with the Xbox app. So I have it on my laptop. And then to his point, why am I on my phone?
So you got the GED TV?
What's the GED TV?
You graduated high school?
Oh.
The GED instead of the smart TV,
yeah,
the one that went to college.
I got to get some diploma.
Such a dad joke.
That was so bad, too.
That was so bad.
People. You have the LCD, the HD. Why not the GED?
Oh, my God.
Heather, you have an update on your home situation?
Yes. Okay, so this is not my realm, right?
That's
There's
the same
certain
reaction
things,
that my kids would
Yeah,
give me.
exactly. There's certain things in our house that is more my realm and more Colin. So he takes care of the internet cable, and he did say, so we get basic cable with our Xfinity internet. That's how he watches football. He says if we want to watch any Tigers game, we go to the bar.
So
which we never go to the bar. So,
we never watch.
So we never watch.
Yeah.
Come on, Heather. They got a winning record.
Yeah.
John, you're in the sports business. You aren't going to watch the Tigers. I'm sure your analysis is going to be stellar. Reads the ticket text.
Listen up. I listen to almost all of the games exclusively. Am I missing something?
He's a company man. And then you
am I missing something?
No, and then you're not. And then you got YouTube, and there's highlights and
you could get highlights. I can get the highlights in the morning. It's just that's. I would, in general, I would prefer, especially because it's the time of year, it's the summer. I want to be out doing things. I want to be with the kids at their games. I would prefer. I grew up listening to Ernie Harwell, and it's part of my childhood. It's part of my lifestyle. I would much prefer to listen to Dan. This is not a shot at Jason Benetti. He's great. I would just prefer hearing it on the radio than I would watching it on TV.
I won't tell Jason that you don't like him.
No,
Jason's great. Don't worry about it. Stop it. The Bally app is solid. Signed Simo, Johnny Kane, and Keats. This one says, screw Bally's. I'll sail the high seas to watch the games. A pirate's life for me. John, who do you want to take? We have people who've been waiting. Who jumps out to you? We only have so much time.
Yeah, throw a dart.
Throw a dart. Who do you want to hear from? Which story seems the most compelling? We could go back to jailbreaking a fire stick. I think we might want to avoid doing repeat business.
Let's try Scott. I want to hear more about YouTube TV.
All right, Scott in Farmington Hills. What's up? You're on 97.1.
Good morning, guys. John, first of all, I would tell you just wait it out for a couple of days. Bally's or Xfinity usually will find a way to make a deal with them. This happens with like NBC deals and all those other things.
Yeah.
So I'd give it a couple of days. I broke down and bought Bally's this year. I've been against Bally's because I hated their app. I'm against a company who gouges and does all those things. But I broke down this year. They had a deal for 30% off if you bought just the Tigers season. So I bought it from April until the end of the Tiger season. And it doesn't renew. I don't have to worry about forgetting it. But I have a connected home, so I'm what you would call a nerd. Everything is connected through the Apple ecosystem. So I have Apple TVs on all of my TVs, so I don't have to worry about the native system in all of it. I pay for internet, and then I have YouTube TV. So when Apple TV has a game on, it's connected through the Bally's app. I can switch back and forth seamlessly. There's no breaks. There's no spinning wheel. Also, YouTube TV I think it was during the football season, came out with multi-view, and it has been a game changer. So, for instance, John, last night there was 3 hockey games and 2 basketball games, or 2 and 2. I could watch all 4 on the same screen, and as soon as I wanted to switch into one of those, it would let me do so. And seamlessly. It's been an absolute game changer for me. I'm able to watch multiple games. My wife doesn't understand how I can do all of those at the same time, but I enjoy being able to see all of the games without having multiple TVs set up.
It is a cool feature, and I saw people with college football last year and with the NFL. I think the NFL, definitely college football, you can do some of that. If you guys are going to stick around, we'll keep talking about this. We've got AJ Hinch coming up, 9:35. First, Heather with the news.
Well, 7 other victims of the Swan Boat Club crash have now filed lawsuits against the driver who crashed into the building, the boat club itself, and the bar where the driver allegedly was drinking at before the crash. Now, 6 of those victims suing were seriously injured, and the suit contends that the boat club, because we haven't really heard about this, I believe the lawsuits that were filed before by the mother and someone else didn't sue the boat club, or we never talked about it if they did.
So the boat club is where they were, not the bar that she was coming from.
Yes, that's a different tavern. Yeah. So the boat club, the suit contends that the boat club negligently constructed and maintained its building where the crash occurred, and constructed the building in the roadway without installing a guardrail or a cement pole or any other safety devices meant at keeping a vehicle from actually, driving straight into the building. Apparently, the club was also in violation of building codes. It had unsafe parking lot, driveway area. They failed to inspect the area for hazards, dangers, and improper conditions. So the boat club is now also being sued. Obviously, we know about the bar and the driver. There's a bunch of other insurance companies that are being sued as well. Former Michigan State football coach Mel Tucker is headed for divorce. His wife filed and accuses him in this request for a restraining order of pulling money without notice from their joint funds, including a $1.5 million to pay his legal expenses. So his soon-to-be ex-wife, Jo Ellen, wanted this restraining order because she says that Before she initiated the divorce, he withdrew all of the money from his 2 retirement accounts, including his Michigan State account. And she said that he transferred them into an individual account to which she obviously does not have access to. She also accuses him of spending more than $1.5 million from their joint line of credit to defend himself in third-party litigation, which she described as a non-marital expense.
Well, they were married at the time.
They're still technically married until the divorce is
so,
finalized.
Yeah,
So,
if the income
but a judge
is part of the marital assets, so is the debt, correct?
So,
I would think so.
Last week, a judge did grant a mutual restraining order preventing the dissipation of marital assets. Nurses went out to dinner and ended up delivering a baby. Pretty darn cool. Saturday night at Lily's in Royal Oak, there was a young couple. I don't know how old they were. Maybe they weren't young, but young enough to still be having babies. Yeah. Elise and Sean Sparkman, they were dining out on the patio, and that's when her water broke.
Oh, boy.
Suddenly. Like, when I say suddenly, everything happened very quickly. Her husband quickly got up from the table, went to go get the car. By the time he got back, the baby was born. So these nurses that were sitting right next to him jumped into action, helped deliver this little baby girl.
This is amazing.
It's absolutely incredible. So thankfully they were there because there were some issues. The umbilical cord was wrapped around the baby's neck. So they knew what to do. Took
Still
care
attached
of her.
to her.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's how that works.
My gosh.
I know, but my question is, what are they cutting the cord with?
The article didn't...
Steak knife?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Got some scissors in the back.
Or
Sterilize them.
Or they waited because Royal Oak police and paramedics arrived.
Paramedics arrived.
Yeah, so maybe they did the cord cutting, John, with some, sterile equipment. Yeah. But anyway.
Well, actually,
I was talking
doing
about sanitizing it after.
The cord?
No, the knife. You can't use the knife.
Well, yeah, I would hope that you would wash it before you use it for something else. It just seems like... Oh my God. Anyway, they named their little baby Penelope Lily Sparkman, with ties, obviously, to the restaurant. So, congrats to them.
Awesome.
Could you imagine if they went to like an Outback or...
The name? They probably wouldn't name it.
No, I think you have to. I think you're
After
locked
the restaurant?
no matter what restaurant it was at.
What's your favorite
Penelope,
restaurant?
Outback, whatever.
Where do you eat at the most? Clyde's. But at least it's a name. But for a little girl, maybe not so good.
Lily, Clyde.
No, it doesn't go.
Lily works.
Yeah, definitely. This is for you, ladies. I already thought this was the norm, but apparently it wasn't. And in case you didn't know, women are being urged to start getting mammograms at the age of 40. So that's earlier. On Tuesday, the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force updated guidance recommending that women ages 40 to 74 get screened every other year.
Yeah.
Be ahead of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Stay in control of your health. Don't be afraid to go to the doctor. We say that about guys. It's no different for
ladies,
women,
get it done.
too. Please make sure you're taking care of yourself. That's Heather with the news. AJ Hinch next, 97.1. Leafs are doing this to their fans, aren't they? They're teasing them.
Oh, yeah.
Austin
and kind
Matthews.
of enjoy it.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe they could take it to a 7 and lose that.
Only to have a heartbreaking finish.
Yes.
It'd be great. They win without Austin Matthews. So they'd be, see, he doesn't have the grit, this team. We don't need him. Anything to create a little dissension and tension in Toronto would be beautiful. I love it.
It's fun. I love watching somebody else's agony. We've had to live with it for a number of years for all sports teams. Now we have a couple that are on the ascension.
Where are the Leafs on your list of teams that you root against? Like, how many teams are above them that you actively root against?
Well, Ohio State.
Yeah. Packers? Yeah,
Green Bay would be right underneath Ohio State.
Is it the whole North? Bears and Vikings?
I've call it right or wrong. My grandparents my mom grew up just outside of Gary, Indiana, which is just outside Chicago. And it was 85 Bears. Like, I knew the Super Bowl shuffle. It was the fridge. It was McMahon. It was Willie Gault.
You kind of want to be drafted by them.
Well, I thought I was going to be. They were picking 40 or 37. And then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go to the Bears. The Bears. So I don't really have hatred for them. I kind of have developed that now. But Green Bay, Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Dallas
that's natural.
Yeah, Dallas is right there with
Did you hate Dallas before you went to Washington?
Yeah.
I thought you did, and then that just compounded it. Okay, where's Michigan State?
But I would have loved to have lived in Texas while I was playing. If it wasn't going to be here, I would have. Michigan State's, they're down the list.
Why? Don't take them serious? Oh, my. If you're watching on Twitch right
you
now,
saw what he just did.
He's got a Twitch exclusive.
John held up the 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Little.
Thank you for taking the bait. I kind of figured you would.
I know.
The little guys over here.
Little fella.
There's nobody we hate in basketball. Our team is not good enough to have a pulse.
Oh, no.
I don't actively root against.
No,
the Pacers or the
if you're
Cavaliers.
going back in the day, it would be obviously the Bulls and the Celtics. But that was with Larry and the Lakers. I'd put them up there.
Yeah.
The Lakers, to me, are right up there with the Cowboys, who are very close to the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes would be head and shoulders number one.
See, it's funny. You go back to Celtics and Bulls. For me, I think about early 2000s Pacers. I did not like the Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal. That we were butting heads with them in the East.
I just didn't like Ron Artest. I didn't care who he played for.
That's fair. Reggie Miller at that time, too?
Yeah, I would say, in the NBA, it would be the Lakers. In Major League Baseball, both teams in Chicago, the Sox and the Cubs, which my wife is kind of a Cubs fan, so that makes it interesting.
Kind of a Cubs fan. Like she is or she isn't a Cubs fan?
Well, she went to law school in Chicago.
Oh, okay. So she jumped on the bandwagon.
Yeah, well, and she got to go to a bunch of games. Now, going to Wrigley Field is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. If you're a baseball fan, that's one of the iconic old school venues.
Yeah, I've been to both of those. Yankees. They'd be up there.
Yeah.
You?
Toronto's probably top 5.
Western Michigan.
The Broncos. Why do you say it like that?
Because every time somebody calls in and they say, fire up chips, you play.
Which are we? That's Bally. We're not going to be able to.
Oh, we can't use that anymore, can we? You're going to have to pay $20 each time you press. Each time. Yep. $40, $60, $80.
Invoice me. Mm-hmm. When Doug and Scott come in here, I have watched the show that Doug has started on Netflix.
Oh, the baby, was it the baby giraffe?
Baby reindeer.
Oh, baby reindeer. I knew it was a baby animal.
Now, I didn't hear this live, but I saw them podcast this on their show that Doug had started something and he wasn't sure if he should finish it. It's this baby reindeer show on Netflix, and it is, you would think, baby reindeer, it's probably a cute little feel-good. It is disturbing. It is deeply disturbing. It involves stalkers.
So you turned it on because you thought it was going to be a cute little story.
No, for everybody else who you hear the name, what you think is very different than what you get.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing. And
what's the reference to the baby reindeer then? How'd they come up with the title?
The stalker refers to him as
a baby reindeer.
Baby reindeer.
You're my baby reindeer.
That's weird.
Oh, they're on remote. I'm waiting for him to come in the studio.
Yeah.
Doug, you're out?
You're done?
With this, and I was giving it some thought. Right at the end of episode 1, the main character, who I guess is is the person that it actually happened to in real life makes a horrific decision, like a horrific decision. And I'm like, okay, nah, I can't. This is terrible. And I was like, I don't like the direction this is going. And
Doug?
And all the feedback I've gotten is that I shouldn't continue.
Doug?
That's all the feedback.
I've heard you browbeat Gator to do things for content, like be the coach of the Watermelon Sharks. You
Correct.
need to do this
Absolutely.
for content. Watch this,
Yes.
because when you find out some of the stuff in his backstory, the twists have only begun.
I like where Jim's head's at.
Did you coach the Watermelon Sharks?
No.
Okay, end of story.
Do you make me watch stuff that I don't ever want to see?
Not in over a year.
Oh, please.
Maybe close to a year. I've already watched more. Did you watch episode 1?
No, I did not. I forgot.
Well,
about
given that
I
there's no
should've done
Tiger
that.
baseball on TV anymore, you got to kill some time.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
They have to.
This gong show, I mean, an absolute gong show of ineptitude
As the
is
bells are ringing
punishing,
in the background.
is punishing the people of Detroit, and it's bull.
Oh.
It's bull. It's
Yeah.
absolute bull.
I agree.
And the fact is, I mean, there's a lot of layers to this. It's hard for me to escape that everything was fine when it was Fox Sports Detroit.
Are we still talking about Baby Reindeer?
No.
All right, so you guys are going to get into that. That's coming up?
Yep.
All right, Karschen Anderson, it's 97.1.
Well, the good news is you'll be able to hear today's Tiger game on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, Scott Anderson. How are you?
Hello, Doug. I mean, that is good news,
Yep.
but I was not happy when I got a text this morning at 6:30 letting me know the story.
Yep.
I did not like to see that story.
Not cool. Not
No,
cool at
that
all.
was-
And the
that's
timing
bold,
is
bro.
the timing is awful. I mean, this is I don't want to overstate it, but this feels catastrophic for an organization that is starting to get some footing in this town. The draft is over, the stage is theirs, and the plug gets pulled on the TV deal?
Well, I would say this. The potential is catastrophic. Now, we're in day one of this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But we have seen this be threatened in the past only to have a deal worked out. I wonder if Major League Baseball steps in like they've done in other cases with this situation with Bally's and their parent company. But I just have a feeling that it is going to change. And explain the situation for people that are just listening.
Basically, Bally's and the biggest cable provider in Metro Detroit, Xfinity, couldn't reach a deal. They both are kind of pointing the finger at one another. And so, there's no more Bally's Sports Detroit. There's no more regional sports network. Now, there's a lot of moving parts here. I mean, I don't want to we can get into the weeds, and we probably will. At the end of the day, I don't think the average fan really gives a crap whose fault it is.
They just want the
product. They
yeah.
want the product. They want to be able to watch the game, and nobody looks good in this deal. And there are alternatives, right? I mean, the irony is MLB Network, which is available on Xfinity. I don't know what's going to happen today, but listed today at 1 o'clock is the Tigers St. Louis game on MLB Network. Channel 258, I believe it is, on most people's Xfinity. So I have watched some Tiger games. I've watched some games on MLB Network that they just, the league's network picks up games. And by the way, Friday's game, there are 2 games scheduled on MLB Network for Friday night, Angels Gribe and Tigers and Yankees. Saturday, there are 2 games listed on MLB Network, Tigers Yankees, Bo Sox Minnesota. Sunday, 2 games listed on MLB Network, Tigers Yankees, Angels at Gribe. So if they pick up that game regionally and we get it here in Detroit, people with Xfinity that get channel 258 MLB Network will be able to watch the Tigers if they get picked up. One would hope. I don't know if they get blacked out or how that works. Tigers will be on the road for the last 3 of those. Come Monday, when it's Tigers at Gribe, that's not listed on MLB Network. But, I mean, the timing of this is potentially catastrophic. We've got, you think about, if you're the Tigers and you're 17-13, you're 4 games over, you're potentially relevant for the first time in half a decade or more. The NFL draft completely dominated the timeline. That's over. We've moved on. What's next for the sports fan? The Tigers, a competitive Tiger team with a badass brand new play-by-play guy that has come to Detroit and seamlessly moved in and been awesome, and now we can't get him? I don't know, man. There's a lot of moving parts. I just can't get over the timing of how bad this is.
Yeah, it's locally, sure, of course it is, and they've had issues for the last year or so with this nationwide with teams, and that's why baseball did step in. I have a hard time thinking this is going to be long-term. If it is long-term, it's gross, it's bogue, it's devastating, it's everything, because then, people are going to have to find the alternative ways to do it. And, of course, there's already a huge percentage of people that have already done that, people that cut the cord and find ways around it, and, whether it's – I'm not even sure what the alternatives are right now, the other options are, to go through, various streaming services, but – that's a problem. It's a real problem.
248-539-9797. Again, we'll carry the games here, and so you'll be able to listen to the games here. But it is hard to imagine that this can continue. Now, I got relatives in San Diego, and casual conversation when we were out there a couple weeks ago. They're like, "Yeah, we don't get Padre games." So Major League Baseball has a problem. The regional sports model is apparently not sustainable, and maybe Bally's just came along at the wrong time. But the people of Detroit and this sports town, which just absolutely blew away the country with the support of our local team, is now getting the plug pulled on the first interesting season in a long time. I don't like coming on the air and screaming and yelling without having solutions. I don't know what the solution is, but the frustration today is it honestly feels like this is a unacceptable scenario that Xfinity and Bally's, do we really care who's to blame? Get your act together and get on the same page. Tigers intervene. MLB intervene.
Well, in a way, yeah, okay, so we just want this thing solved, but there is a problem. In one side or the other, someone's at fault. Of course, they're both at fault to some degree, but, Is somebody setting the price too high? I mean, there's a reason that Fox Sports Detroit became Bally's, and now Bally's is finding the pitfalls with what's going on with trying to carry all the local sports. I mean, it's an expensive endeavor to do that, and one of the reasons it's expensive is because dealing with the cable company. I mean, you got to find a way to make a profit, and then you're looking at it from the Comcast way or Xfinity side. There's so many more people that are cutting the cord and going away from it that they're trying to make up for that, and they're hiking their prices up, and it's a mess all around. I don't know if there is an easy solution to this because it is about money and it's about survival.
I'm not anti-streaming. Okay, streaming is something that I'm willing to accept. I hate that I might have to pay $20 a month for an app, but I have yet to hear any feedback where people say, by the way, the Bally's app is really buttoned up. Like it's a really good app. Nobody says that. Everybody says the same thing, that the app stinks. So the alternative is to pay $20 for apparently a partially dysfunctional app that we didn't have to pay for before. So it's like the seat license. All it is another way of saying we're charging you more, and there's nothing we get out of it that we didn't have before. So here's $20 a month we weren't paying before to get the same product, but apparently presented in a worse way on an app. Now, I realize everybody doesn't want to stream, but, I mean, the way technology works, you either, unfortunately, you have to get on board or you get left behind. And, I always go back to the same analogy, but it's grandma with a rotary dial phone.
Well, yeah, that's great. As long as the alternative is better. I'm not sure if streaming is better at this point. There's still bugs to be worked out with it.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, so, I mean, until that happens where it's a better alternative, yeah, I'm going to be pissed because I'm one of those people I'm reluctant to stream. I'm reluctant to download more and more apps. I'm tired of the phone being bogged down with all those things, and I'd rather you're paying cable prices. There's a reason you are, and you get your whole selection of channels. And
well, the dynamic of how we consume media is clearly changing.
No doubt.
I don't think any of my kids in their living situations have cable. They stream everything, and that's fine. I'm willing to adapt, but don't give me a worse product for more money. Like that's basically what we're being asked to do. Is get an app that everybody complains about and pay more? Does that make any sense? Now, I realize that might be the only way I can access the games, and I would embrace it. And go, okay, that's the modern era, and this is how I'm going to have to do things.
Well, but then you're pointing. It looks like you're pointing the finger at Bally's. When if Bally's can't work out the deal with Comcast, then the only thing that they can do is the app.
Yeah, but I guess my point is to Bally's. Bally's is the one that controls the quality of Bally's app. That has nothing to do with Xfinity. There are apps that I stream on that I don't complain. When I stream video on ESPN, I have no issues. I don't. So when I stream on Netflix, I don't have issues on Netflix. Why is everybody and again, not doing it, all I hear is complaints about Bally's app.
Well, those are also major companies that have billions and billions and billions of dollars behind it, and Bally's is not.
Okay, here's the deal then. Don't get in the business if you can't support it.
Okay, great. So then they're out. Now what?
Well, somebody else will get in. But
will they? I mean, that's the thing. The people come into it and realize it's not a money-making endeavor unless you raise the prices, and then people complain about it.
248-539-9797. We'll get to your phone calls coming up. We are outside Coer Park. Tigers win the nightcap yesterday. The story might be the first game, though, the way Jack Flaherty pitched. Wow. And we are just, for those of you that typically stream, we're getting the stream taken care of. We had somebody out sick today, so we're kind of piecing it together. We'll have the stream up and running soon with the video for Twitch and YouTube. It's Carson Anderson outside Comerica here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Well, we like to come up with solutions for problems. So if you've got, a clogged drain, you got a problem with water in your basement or in your crawl space, or maybe your AC isn't working, listen. Their help is on the way. You can see those red, white, and blue trucks all over the place because they're helping people. It's Birmingham Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Remember the deal I was telling you guys about? Well, it ends. Well, it looked like it ended last night, right? And listen, this is a company that is still going to provide you with the greatest service that you need. I had problems with my house. I had problems with a thermostat that wasn't working. Birmingham Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling came out that day and fixed it. I also had a problem with a water tank. It started leaking. I didn't know what to do. I called them. They came out that day, and they fixed the problem. They're going to help you out no matter what your problem is. Call Birmingham Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today. You can schedule an appointment online at birminghamplumbingco.com. Birmingham Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, your Metro Detroit boiler experts.
All right, Doug Carr, Scott Anderson outside Coer Park. A little overcast, a little chilly if you're on your way down here. Probably start with a little bit, maybe a little jacket, and then you can take it off as the day goes on. Although you're in shorts and and short sleeves.
That's right.
You cool with that?
I will be.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Right now, it's a little cooler than I was expecting to be at this point, but it's supposed to be.
Well, today's your first day doing this remote, so I understand making that mistake.
Look, I'm not.
This is honestly.
What mistake? There's no mistake.
Okay, fair enough. This is the coldest place at the stadium where they put us up. A concrete, wind, where we happen to be,
Right.
it is the coldest place
Yeah.
outside Comerica Park.
Well, and the sun is yet to creep over.
We
because
need that.
It's,
We need that. But there is a lot of people down here already for this Tiger game against the St. Louis Cardinals. They try and take another series and continue this. We'd like them to take up permanent residence over 500.
Well, if you want to watch the game, the best way to watch it is to come downtown
come down
watch
here.
it and listen to the broadcast on the radio.
I think it might be available on MLB Network because it's the only game listed today. So, all right, let's get to your phone calls. Paul, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Paul. Do we have Paul? Okay, we lost Paul. Let's go to Mike. You're next here on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Mike.
Hey, guys. Great show. Love the topic.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Doug, are you a man?
Am I a man?
Yes,
I'm going to go with
man.
yes.
Gator, you're a man. Yes.
This is true.
Okay, I'm a man. And when I go lay asphalt and smoke Camel Wides after a long day, I want to come home and watch the ball game in one place and not have to find it in 70 different channels from 50 million different providers. This is a Napster moment for these guys, okay? Because it should be this simple. Pay whatever to the MLB network or whomever it is, whether Apple TV buys them or whatever, and it's all the entire league is in one place. I'm too busy at work with my kids, all this crap. I just want to watch the game, and I don't want to pay $1,000 to 15 different providers to get it. So the league better figure this crap out because I'm sick and tired of coming home and not being able to find things that and people get mad and say, well, these guys are, cutting in and cutting the cord and doing this kind of crap. Just find a way to get all of the games in one place. It's not rocket science. All these little side deals that they've tried to put together with all of these different companies, it's just incredibly infuriating from the end user. Apple is a good company because they start with the end user and they say, how do we make this guy happy? The league doesn't give a crap about that, and that's what's wrong.
Well, there's a lot there, Mike, and I don't blame your frustration. I am kind of waiting for the day when there's a streaming deck that you can have on your TV or whatever you stream with, where everything is easily accessible to toggle around, where you can go from the ESPN Plus app to the Bally's app to Netflix to the Peacock app, where you can just move around and it's all condensed into one place. And they haven't figured that out yet. And that probably comes in the smart TV design, where you turn it on and it's all right there. I have a little bit of that. One of my TVs has a pretty decent setup, but you still have to. The problem is when you go to an app and you log into the app and you get into the app and then you find what you want to watch, and now you want to go watch something else, and you have to exit the app, and then you have to answer the question, are you sure you want to exit the app? Yes, that's why I hit exit. And then you back up, and you go out, and you start the process all over again, and it's not easily usable like it is with cable. It's not nearly as convenient. And look, I've decided that as I get older, I'm going to do my best to embrace the next thing, so that I don't antiquate myself out of my own enjoyment of baseball. And if that's streaming, but what do we always hear about baseball? Aging audience. So you're asking the people least likely to adapt that want your product to adapt. And that makes no sense. No sense.
I agree with everything. I agree with everything you said. It's just from a simplicity perspective, right? It strikes me like, God forbid, I'm 50, so I'm over the hill, I guess. But God forbid that I can just go to Major League Baseball and have one app, like an NFL app, a Major League Baseball, where there is no blackout. It's like I'm watching the NBA playoffs, right? One game's on TNT, then another game's on ABC, then another game's and it becomes so infuriating because where's this game? And I got to go look at it. It's like, my God, man, can I not just pay Major League Baseball $150 for the whole year, $200 for the whole year?
But yeah, you can.
And get every game.
But can't you do that?
No,
Isn't that what? Well, hold on. Isn't that what like NFL Sunday Ticket is? And don't they have the same Major League Baseball package as well?
They do.
So you can do that. And unfortunately, that's kind of where we're going to have to go. One of the outlets, I guess.
Mike, thank you for the phone call. The Tigers just released a statement We are disappointed in the stalled negotiation between Bally Sports Detroit and Comcast and the inconvenience it may cause for Tiger fans. Fans who subscribe to other cable companies are unaffected. Those who are impacted can continue to watch Tiger games on the Bally's Sports Plus app, DirecTV, Fubo, and MLB TV. The Tigers have no voice in this matter, but are hopeful the two sides will come to an agreement as soon as possible, and they may. The frustration that is setting in today is one where I'm going to for me personally, let this marinate for a few days, hope that the listing on MLB TV on Xfinity is accurate and that we will be able to watch Tiger baseball today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday on MLB TV. And if it comes Monday and there's no resolution and there's none in sight, the Cars family will be considering our options.
Yeah, well,
because a summer without Tiger baseball on TV,
that's not happening.
That's not happening.
That's the non-starter.
248-539-9797. Phone calls, feedback, and a lot of it coming in, as one might imagine. What do we got here? We've seen this a million times, writes an unnamed texter. I'll shoot the boot if they don't come to a new agreement within 10 days. I'd be comfortable with that, but, I mean, we're months into the season, and I know my relatives in San Diego don't have it sorted out. Well, they didn't 2 weeks ago. Maybe something's happened in the interim. But let me go ask.
Well, that's a scary thought. I mean, because I've been I'm not nonchalant about this. This bothers me, but I do feel like it's something that gets done quickly because pressure is really put on you at this point. When we're talking about the first day without it, and you've got a product that's worth watching. You could argue the product's always worth watching if you're a baseball fan, but right now the team's better than 500. They're 17-13 after the first month and few days into the season here. Better than we thought.
Yep.
So this is something we want to continue to watch and continue to support, and now it's temporarily unavailable to a lot of people. And yeah, okay, I appreciate that you can find it on this app and on there's like DirecTV or MLB TV or whatever, but it's not the same as what we were doing. And that's a problem.
So, and if you're sitting there in the Xfinity camp and you're saying, well, they're not, we came to the table with a fair offer, and you're sitting there in the Bally's camp, we came to the table with a fair offer, here's what you both have to be concerned about. In Bally's case, you got people saying, I'm not paying more for this app because all I hear is that the app sucks. Sort that out. And in Xfinity's case, you're going to have people going, well, I'm going to cut the cord because I want my Tiger baseball and look at my streaming options, which may or may not be better in the end, but people are going to investigate, okay, what are my options? So you're running the risk of losing subscribers. Both of you are motivated to get this thing sorted out.
Well, and maybe the easiest motivation is for Bally's just to get a better app. And that might be it. Get something that's reliable, something that people can say, okay, this works for me. And that would do a couple of things. It would also kind of stick it to Xfinity because you're helping people cut the cord in a way, and it also benefits you because now you've got a bunch of new subscribers to your app.
I mean, just when they have the stage and things are getting interesting, this happens.
Yeah.
We'll get to more of your phone calls and feedback coming up. We are outside of Coer Park, and we've established last segment, Gator, that you and I indeed are men. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. outside Comerica Park on a frustrating day in Detroit, but the sun's come out, so there's that, and that's nice. And
I told you, it's going to be beautiful today.
It is going to be beautiful.
It's going to be like 80 degrees. And
well, I'm aware of the forecast. I just brought the sweatpants just in case, and sure enough. Of course, you always run hot, I always run cold, so.
This is true.
We can't control the temperature outside Comerica Park. Let's get back to your phone calls. Mike, you're next on 97.1 The Ticket. What's up, Mike?
How's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I just want to let you guys know we pay for MLB TV, $30 a month, and what I have to come home, watch the Tigers on Bally because they black it out every night. So even paying the money for MLB TV doesn't ensure that I get to watch my favorite team.
Can you run an experiment for us then? This afternoon, so this afternoon's game normally would not be carried on MLB TV, correct?
Right.
Which, to be clear, is different than MLB Network, which is available on Xfinity. Can you see if today they lift the blackout since there is no local broadcast available on our cable?
I'll tell you guys, about a half hour ago, before I left, I looked, and it's still listed as blacked out right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen when game time comes, but
I guess I would expect it to be blacked out because there are some services that can still carry the local broadcast.
But they're streaming.
No, DirecTV
I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe this, you guys. I mean, that's our home team, man.
This is denying. I mean, there's no winner here. Major League Baseball has to be furious. The Tigers has to be furious. I mean, I guess in some ways, to be honest, the people have to tune into the radio, which makes certain radio carriers the winner because the ratings will probably go up. But we don't even want that.
What?
Well, to a degree.
Careful.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying.
No, I know what you're saying. But I would say that if Major League Baseball doesn't lift the blackout on MLB TV, then I think you can point a finger at Major League Baseball too.
Yeah.
I don't care about DirecTV.
Let's see here. Baseball's so poorly run. They have the oldest average fan, and they expect them to stream the games. What's their strategy for young viewers? Have them listen with my rotary phone? Next text from Baseball Fan in Belleville. Xfinity is an overcharging tool that is more about money. Bally's is a tool. They're both at fault. It should have never got to this point. Give me my Tigers. From Eric in Chesterfield, welcome to the club. Dish customer here and have not had Bally's since Fox Sports 2019. Hope for everyone's sake it's less than 5 years to make a deal. Unnamed texter, I had to cancel my Bally's app because the other night there was technical problems where the game wouldn't load. It's the worst app I've ever had. I simply gave up trying to watch them.
Well, if they had problems before with the app, of people because maybe too many people trying to get on,
yep.
Can you imagine what's going to be like now if people are now they're going to pay for it and download it, and you're probably getting a surge of people moving forward? Better have it figured out.
One would hope. And another one, any chance they bring games back to local TV. I mean, I don't know if that's a possible solution that can be, something the Tigers can work out. Didn't that happen late in the Red Wings season? Some games were made available on
Red Wings and Pistons
on Channel 20.
On Channel 20, yeah.
248-539-9797. Greg, you're next on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Greg.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, right. Greg.
Hey, just I do stream, and I've been trying to get the Bally Sports or Bally Sports Plus on my TV. There are some platforms that will not even work with Bally Sports at this point in time.
Like, what do you mean? Give us an example.
Well, without throwing TV brands, I have like a Samsung TV that I can get the app with no problem. But then now I have like the brand new state-of-the-art LG down in the basement where my man cave is. LG does not support Bally Sports at all, meaning you cannot even get the app.
I think there's probably a way around that because you can use. I think you can hook up your phone to your TV.
Yeah,
I think there's a
do
way
that?
to do that, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, because I have an LG.
But
TV
we're reaching
as well.
a level of complexity that even the average person has to be irritated with, like the grasping, to I'm gonna what is it, screen mirroring or whatever with my phone. Or
Yeah, something like
we're getting deep into the weeds of what you have to be able to do to get a game. Look, I think it's worth it, and I try to adapt to everything. But the workaround, when you're having to come up with workarounds, it strikes me that this is probably not good for anyone. Greg, thanks. 248-539-9797. Jay in a car writes in, the sports themselves have been sacrificing their fan base growth by not having easily accessible viewing, period. Sports was the background to everyday life when I was young. Now we can either go to the bar or pay money for. How many subscriptions do we need to see 4 major sports plus college? Next one. I don't think the MLB app or NFL app work for local games. There are blackout restrictions. Another unnamed texter. You can't get the Tigers on the MLB app. Local blackout rule. Lance in Ann Arbor. Wow, it feels like the end of the world. You guys, what the hell? I'm sure it'll all work out. Everybody chill.
Well, I'd like it to work out. I like to think it's going to work out, and I do think it's going to work out. But for right now, no, I'm not chilling. I'm pissed. If it's going to disrupt me for a day, I'm going to be pissed for the day. I'll warm up to it later on once it's fixed. But right now, it's not fixed. It's a mess, and it's an ongoing mess, and it's something it's a storm that's been a long time coming, and all parties knew about it. And wait, and then get something done. This is like, well, maybe I'm making the wrong analogy here. But remember a few years ago when baseball was having problems figuring out, well, what kind of a season we're going to have coming out of COVID, and they waited all that time. They waited all that time, like 160 days before they even started negotiations. And it was like, why do you wait till the last second to try to get something done? And then you guys, it took you forever to figure it out.
It's a game of chicken. They're staring
Yeah,
each
I
other
know,
down.
and I can't stand that. And I get it. That's negotiation 101. But, when you're doing something that's for the betterment of the people that you rely on to make your business work.
Well, this would be a lot easier if all I heard was, yeah, just get the Bally's app. It's great. Said no one. Like, nobody says that the Bally's app works flawlessly. And so am I going to go out there and spend $20 for an app that's going to frustrate me as well? The other option is changing providers and figuring out. All I've heard is DirecTV. Is DirecTV the
Fubo or whatever?
Yeah. Are the only ones that carry Tiger baseball now? Terry from Troy says, hey, guys, I'm 66 years old. You guys are acting like you're 66. Cut the cable, get YouTube TV, get Roku or a Fire Stick stream.
There we go.
And Bally streaming, whatever else you want. It's not that hard. You can cancel it, restart it. I pay $78, I think, for YouTube TV, have Prime Video, and all the other nonsense. Don't see the big deal. Well, good for you. I'm proud of you. Very proud of you at 66 and not letting it be an issue. I don't think people want to pay more for an app that doesn't work as well. Now, look, some of these other I didn't think YouTube TV had it. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Does YouTube TV have Bally's?
I don't think they do.
I don't either.
At least
I thought
from the article I read this morning, that's not the case.
It was Fubo and DirecTV.
Yeah, or you can use the Bally Sports Plus app that you have to pay for. I'll tell you what. This is not good news for Xfinity.
No.
Because you know what I've never really thought of?
What?
Cutting the cord.
And now?
I'm thinking about cutting the cord.
Yep.
If this drags on.
Well, I mean, we
and
mentioned it's not good for anybody.
And I'm pretty stubborn. I'll put up with some stuff for a while. But I imagine there's many more. Oh, it is Thursday. No, it's Wednesday.
Here comes
get the lawnmowers out.
Yep. Carson Anderson are live. Quick, go get the lawnmowers.
But I
never fails.
I would imagine I have more patience than most when it comes to putting up with it. So imagine how many people right now are already saying, screw you, Xfinity, screw you, Comcast, I'm cutting the cord.
We'll get to more of your phone calls and feedback coming up. It's Carson Anderson outside Coer Park. Tiger baseball this afternoon here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Well, with so many bad experiences, how about a good experience, all right? I talked to the good folks over at Precision Garage Door because I had bad garage doors. I needed them replaced, and they were awesome. They came out, and I scheduled an appointment. They came out right away. They helped me select the perfect door for my house, and we got it installed in no time. The good guys there, John, Jeff, the whole crew, easy to work with. These guys are true professionals, And frankly, right now, it's a time where finding great customer service, well, it's really tough. But the folks over at Precision know what they're doing. So if you want your garage doors done right, do what I did. Call Precision Garage Door today at 1-800-DOOR-REPAIR to schedule an appointment. That's 1-800-DOOR-REPAIR.
Just an outstanding call on the radio from Dan Dickerson. We'll have the game this afternoon here on 97.1 The Ticket. I will give Xfinity credit for one thing. The email I got this morning. Unfortunately, our programming agreement with Diamond Sports Group has expired. That means we no longer have the rights to carry their channels, including your local Bally Sports Network. The loss of this channel will result in savings that will pass along to you, and you'll see a monthly credit on your bill in the coming weeks. You don't need to do anything to receive your credit. We'll automatically apply it to your upcoming monthly bill statement. I mean, I'll give them credit for that. They're giving us money back because the product that we pay for just lost one of the critical things that we pay for. I'd rather still have it, but at least they're doing that.
Yeah, I'm not giving them credit for that. That's what you should do. I
Okay.
mean, that's the basic. I mean,
I know, but
we no longer carry this, so I guess we don't have to charge anymore.
when I go to a restaurant and I say, hey, can I get the chicken sandwich you have here, but no bacon? You know what they never say? Oh, you'll save $2. They never say that, so I'm giving them credit for doing that.
Well, you're the one.
Yeah, well, most people have the bacon, so I'm not.
I wouldn't have the bacon, but you're the one.
Yeah, 248-539-9797. Let's get back to your phone calls here on Carson Anderson on 97.1 The Ticket. What do we got next here? Is it Gary? Gary, you're on 97.1. Hi, Gary.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
What's up?
Hey, I wanted to tell you, I am a Dish Network customer, and I have been for probably a good 12, 15 years. And about 3 years ago, Dish Network decided to drop Bally Sports, which at the time was Fox Sports Detroit.
Yep.
And I've been without Tiger games, Red Wing games, Pistons games ever since. And the issue I've got, it's amazing. Just Monday, I actually broke down and purchased the Bally Sports package, although with Dish Network, obviously it has nothing to do with it. But
so what made you buy it
Monday?
Monday?
Xfinity.
What made you pull the trigger Monday?
I had seen on Facebook that Bally was advertising some special rates, I think like 15% off if you purchased by the end of April. And I've always been a baseball fan. And I guess I don't know, I had been wanting to, and just finally went with it. Now, obviously, this doesn't affect me because it's with Xfinity, but it's the same thing that I've been going through. And, Dish Network, I just got so pissed at Dish Network that I've stuck with them. The amazing thing about that, too, that actually happened about a month after I re-upped with them for a 2-year agreement. So if I would have canceled early, it would have been losing money. They would have been charging.
Gary, good for you. I mean, we're all going to have to make these decisions. This is an inconvenience, and we're going to miss some baseball games. But if it's important to you or to the individual, you will explore. And I mean, I don't think anybody wants to do this, but you're going to explore and find the option that works best for you. And I mean, if it means cutting the cord, Xfinity, hey, that's what it is. If it means breaking down and buying the app, I guess that's what that is. Or if it means going with a provider that carries it. And we're getting feedback that YouTube does not carry it. So.
Yeah, see, I'm not that familiar with that. I know my next door neighbor has, it's not Dish Network, the other.
DirecTV.
Yes, he has DirecTV, and he receives the games.
Yeah.
But,
well, Gary, thank you for sharing, and good luck. 248-539-9797.
I imagine this is going to affect bar and restaurant owners.
So I was wondering about that. Yeah, because I know that some bars do have DirecTV.
Yeah,
and I would if I were an establishment and I've got calls in to various establishments, one in particular. Hello.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you directly. I'm gonna talk about you coming up. Please send me a text. Let me know if you're carrying the games, because at the end of the day, if I were a bar establishment and I had DirecTV and I was carrying the games, I'd be screaming it from mountaintops.
Yeah.
Because this team is interesting. We have an interesting baseball team.
Listen, that's the cherry on top of it. That's what makes it even more maddening. But the fact is, even the team were bad, people still want to watch it because it's baseball.
I know.
Give us our damn baseball.
John is next on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, John.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Hey.
You do a great job.
Thank you.
Just wanted to let you know I do have the app, and I'll tell you what, it's a terrible experience. It doesn't work all the time, and then even when it does, they show the same commercials in every pod. I mean, it's usually a promo for one of their god-awful shows like the British Basketball League.
Yeah, and isn't this the one with the graphic with the skating? You hear the skates on the ice and the bouncing basketball that it's just over and over. Yeah.
Yes, I've never wanted to watch commercials so much in my life. When I'm in a pod like that, it's like, this is just terrible. It's a terrible experience. And as far as, YouTube TV does not have Bally. I think Fubo and Direct do. So those are alternatives to Comcast. But the app is just a terrible, terrible experience.
It sucks. I'm actually kind of relishing, embracing what's next, and saying, all right, I'm not gonna be stubborn about it. I really want to, be able to change with the times and keep up. But when you're telling me what you just said, I have not heard one good thing about this app. Not one good thing.
There is nothing good. Yeah.
So pay more and get a worse product? Perhaps I'll pass.
I hear you. I'm, a lot of things going through my head right now of what the future is going to be for me.
Let's go to Craig. You're next on 97 Want to Take It. Hi, Craig.
Good morning, guys. Hi. I'm on load management, but, I was telling the screener, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I'd rather listen to 97.1 for baseball and just kind of like turn it on and then maybe catch up in the newspaper the next day. But I gave up on that stuff a long time ago as far as like figuring out packages and everything else. But I would prefer to just turn Dan Dickerson on and just chill out. And I'm going to finish the lawn and go play 18. But God bless you guys, all right? Take care.
Yeah, no, I mean, the one thing about baseball is and look, being somebody who does some play-by-play, baseball really translates on the radio. Like it really, really is, I think, the most gratifying sport to listen to on the radio when I'm on the other side of the speakers.
Yeah, because you've got the time to paint the picture.
Yes.
Basketball, football, hockey, not so much.
The action is quick. Yeah. You don't have time to reference everything. You kind of know the field in baseball, and so there's definitely some positives to it. And I'm very glad that we carry the games, and I'm glad that we have Dan and the crew, and there's all kinds of guys, but that help out. I really like our broadcast, but thank you for the phone call, 248-539-9797. Mike is next on 97 Want to Take It. Hi, Mike.
Hey, you got me?
Yep. Go ahead.
All right, sorry about that. I can't seem to hear you.
Well, it's because we're not saying anything. We're waiting for you to talk.
Oh, I got you. My bad, guys. I've never been on the radio before, but I just wanted to bounce in and say I'm your guys' age, a little bit older maybe, so it was so nice just to have cable. A few years ago, I thought I was getting, cable. Everybody said I was paying too much, so I did go to streaming, and I went to Fubo, and the only reason I did that as opposed to, let's say, YouTube TV or something like that was because I need Red Zone. So Red Zone, and Bally's comes with Fubo, which is great. But I just did this last year, and what really sucked about having Fubo this year, when the Final Four came around, they don't have TNT, just like Bally's doesn't have an agreement with Direct or whoever anymore. Right. They don't have TNT, True TV, or TBS. So the only games I could see, I mean, it's easier to go to the bar for those games, so I didn't mind it as much. But, only the games on CBS, first few days and first few weeks there, were the ones that I could see for the Final Four, which totally sucks. So it's like you got to give up something for something else on at every single turn.
It's funny you bring that up because we haven't really gotten into that layer of the conversation yet, but it does feel like, hey, just cut the cord. Fine, okay, but when you cut the cord, because I've done it before, and the closest I came to pulling the trigger, because we've tried different ways to cut the cord, YouTube TV came the closest, but you don't realize, I get this back, but I'm also losing something else, and it's never perfect, and I may be striving for perfect is what is the mistake, is because you just can't achieve it. But
it's like I'd like to start with everything, and then let me trim down.
Pare down from there, yeah.
Which is, it's been an age-old argument since cable started.
Well,
because people didn't want to have to pay. Why am I paying for, True TV if I never watch it, right? Then that's what this is why streaming is where it is. because people are like, oh, you don't want to pay for the good. You don't have to pay for that. Yeah, but I'm not getting this, this, and this with you. Oh, well, you want to do that? Well, you got to get this stream, and it's just a mess.
Sports Business Journal just tweeted this out. The agreement between Comcast/Xfinity and Diamond Sports Group, the owner of 15 Bally's Regional Sports Network, has expired. The Bally Sports South feed of last night's Game 5 of the Stanley Cup playoff series between the Predators and Canucks was cut off at 11 p.m. Central Time. In the middle of the game.
You got to be kidding me.
Wow.
That's
somebody sent
cruel.
this in, and Scott writes in, first world problems, Doug. Listen on the radio or go to the game. Yeah, fine. I mean, look, if it
Thanks.
Got it. Yep. These are first world problems, but as sports fans in a great sports town, to have our sports team become less accessible, forgive me if I'm frustrated. 248-539-9797. It was baseball yesterday. We'll talk about the games next hour a little bit and continue to take your calls on this. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by North Bloomfield Properties. A battle between Diamond Sports and Comcast has Tigers fans caught in between. Bally Sports Detroit and Xfinity pulling the plug on one another after not coming to an agreement on an extension, so Detroit viewers will not be able to see the flagship station on that service. Both sides seem to be blaming the other for not accepting their proposals. The good news, you can always just listen to the games right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Dan Dickerson will have today's call a matinee and rubber match against the Cardinals from Coer Park at 1 o'clock. Manager AJ Hinch jumping on the ticket this morning. He says rookie Wenzel Perez will continue to take at-bats away from others while he's producing. He's in the lineup today over Parker Meadows and batting third. And Skip also talked about why we haven't seen struggling slugger Spencer Torkelson go to the minors yet amidst his current slump. Hinch says that Torque did not hit 30 home runs by accident last year, but he's still searching for his first of the season as we enter the month of May. He's been dropped to 6th in the order for today's game. From the Corwell Health Sports Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
The venting continues here on a Wednesday regarding the challenge of finding Tiger baseball video streams. What's going on here? You just going for a stretch?
Stretch, yeah.
Those watching the stream. Gator was like eyeing the tent that we were under. Like, can he get it done? Feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
It did feel
Using
good,
the
yeah.
framing of the tent here to get a little stretch.
Well,
in.
I was literally just resting against it rather than pulling down because I don't want to pull down the tent with my massive strength.
Yes, exactly. Freakishly strong. We have this little setup here outside Coer Park, and I go back and forth between sitting in the chair and standing up. The problem with standing up, and invariably if you're watching on the stream, at some point today, I am going to walk in and smash my head on this thing that comes from the tent. I don't know what this is called. Is it a node? You think that's a node? I don't know. It's in the middle of the tent. It's part of the setup, and I will bang my head against. I do it every year, like it's my first time.
Yeah,
but I will do it again. That is guaranteed.
That's the struggles of being a mini giant.
Yeah, I guess. So we were in the office today, and Kang, we were talking about Torque's problems. Yeah, Gator fits right underneath. We were talking about Torque's problems, and he hasn't hit a home run.
74 inches up there.
And Kang, you made a great observation about their new home run celebration with the pizza spear.
Oh, yeah. And, some people didn't like it. Others didn't care. And, other people love it. And I just thought it was ironic that the guy who came up with the idea is the only guy who doesn't have a home run right now, basically. Torque. Poor guy, he went 0 for the month. And he's watching everyone else do the celebration he came up with thinking, yeah, that celebration's stupid anyways. I don't want to do it, right?
I got to think in Torque's mind, he's watching Wenzel Perez homer from both sides of the plate, and he's like, yeah, teammate, way to go, team. And inside, he's got it probably fighting how come I can't hit one?
Well, I was going to say that if you saw him celebrate with Wenzel when he crossed home plate,
yep.
I think it was a home run.
He's doing a great job.
Last night. Yeah, he was more than happy for him when he scored right in front of him. So, yeah, I hear you. I'm a huge Torque fan. I wish to God he would start hitting over the fence just to get the monkey off his back. I do think once he gets the first one, the second one's going to come quickly, and then he can relax a little bit.
What did you say? Once he hits one, the next one will come within 15 at bats.
Yeah,
I like the prediction. I think it's creative. I think it's one we can monitor, and I look forward. The good side for me is that if you don't win, I get a lunch out of it. But hey, good luck.
That's not what we did.
Oh, we didn't.
We didn't do that.
No,
it's just it's one of these things. It's one of these.
It's a prediction. The predictions don't count. Remember.
Right.
You have to shoot the boot or make a bet. Predictions don't count anymore. I discovered that during the draft. The prediction that the Lions would trade up didn't count. I had to shoot the boot for it to count.
I'm not willing to bet on it. It's just how I feel right now that he'll get that going. And it's But the other thing is he's just got to swing the bat better as well. I mean, if you're not going to hit the ball over the fence, hit it where they ain't, and or hit some fly balls that can advance some runners. And he hasn't done enough of that. He had a couple hits yesterday.
Small steps, 9 trips to the plate, 2 hits and a walk.
And a double. So that's good to see that, okay, contributing, need to keep contributing if the ball's not going to fly out, but it will start flying out.
All right, 248-539-9797. Kang, before we get back to some of the feedback and phone calls, is there anything you want to add to this whole thing about Bally's and Xfinity and games no longer being on TV?
Obviously this sucks if you're trying to watch the Tigers on TV. I'm not sure what I'm personally going to do yet. I'm going to wait a little bit here. From everything I've heard from people that I know, the app doesn't seem like the best right now. It doesn't operate very well. It seems like almost like a knockoff app, a Dollar Tree app, an app that should be, a store brand app, right? This is not like a good app to use. And then everyone's going to have to download it to even have a chance to watch. And then I feel like that's kind of what they want. They want more people to download the app. So maybe that's conspiracy theory. I don't know. And then they get this taken care of after enough people subscribe and whatnot. So I'm going to wait and see. I'm not going to download the app yet. Listen to the radio. Love Dan on the radio anyways. And catch highlights, I guess, on other shows. But I'm just going to wait and see right now. And unfortunately, of course, the people are hurt in the end at the most.
Yeah, and look, everybody has a budget, and everybody has to pick and choose what they're going to spend their money on. For some people, it's obviously the fortunate people, it's really easy, and they'll be able to just say, well, give me whatever it takes, I'll just pay more. And they don't worry about the $20 a month for Bally's, or they add DirecTV or whatever the case may be. For others, this is, takes a chunk out of their disposable income that they just can't afford, and it stinks. I mean, it stinks. And the more I think about this, the more I think of the effect of this probably benefits Bally's more than Xfinity. Because directly, Xfinity might lose customers and Bally's might gain them.
Well, yeah, I mean, Xfinity, what it'll do? Okay, well, that means that they'll knock off $8 a month on your cable bill, and then they won't care about it. Because after a while, everything adjusts, and then they'll probably charge more a year from now than they charge right now, and it makes up for any kind of loss they have. Bally's is completely dependent on having somewhere to distribute their product.
But more people will. I think am I wrong? People will cut the cable, and people will get the app.
So
Xfinity has more to lose here than Bally's.
I disagree. I mean, because Bally's right now, they haven't shown the ability to come up with a proper app.
I gotcha, but people are going to buy it anyway because they can't. They got to give it a shot.
Well,
Xfinity's going to lose customers. Bally's may gain some.
This is true, but this is one market. That there's how many markets are they? 18 markets or something that we're worried about
regional
at this
networks?
point. Yeah. So, I mean, in the end, what this tells me is that even though Xfinity is making them an offer or had made them an offer and Bally's had countered and here's their offer, what it seems to me is that Xfinity is they're charging too much to Bally's is what it sounds like, or too much for Bally's to be able to make a profit. And Bally's like, we can't pay that much.
Well,
we need to pay this much. And Xfinity's just said, well, you know what? We've done our research and it's okay for us to go and be done with it.
It's interesting because, like I said, I have relatives in San Diego, and I reached out to them this morning and asked them, one guy's in.
Sure, they appreciated that when at 5 o'clock in the morning their time.
Well, one of them gets up every day to listen to the show. What's up, Scott? He's up in Ramona, California. They've got it sorted out with their cable provider. But down in El Cajon, where Brady lives, they don't have it sorted out, so he doesn't get Padre baseball. And that's been going on for over a year. So, we hope that this is quick, but there's no guarantees. 248-539-9797, phone calls, feedback. Let's get back to the phones. We go to Mike. You're next on 97.1. Hi, Mike.
Weed.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, Mike.
All right, how are you?
Good. Me and the wife, we cut cable about 3 years ago to get YouTube TV, and that was right when Bally came out,
And the only way to have that was to have actual cable. So finally the app comes out, and I was all excited, get to watch hockey, Tigers, and it was like a gut punch. It is the worst ran app I've ever downloaded. I mean, it is, like Kane said, it's a dollar store app.
Give us some examples.
What's the problem?
Everybody
says it, but what is it?
All right, so like yesterday, wanted to watch the first game of the doubleheader. Turn it on, spinning wheel death. Just kept on going, spinning wheel, loading. All right, so now you got to back out, go back to it. It'll turn on, and the game will be broadcasting, but now it's in like really grainy, like resolution.
Digitized.
So then,
so
you back out, and then finally you go. It's good, and then out of nowhere it'll just get grainy again. It's a pain.
Okay. Yep. Well,
So good luck.
If you had told me Bally's app is smooth, I'd kind of be in a, hey man, this is how we're going to consume a lot of sports now.
Yep.
And I'm willing to accept that. And I actually reluctantly would pay for it. Those kinds of stories add to the frustration, is that they haven't figured out the app yet. 248-539-9797. It's Carson Anderson outside Coer Park. We'll get into the actual games from yesterday. In the noon hour, by the way, the best of what A.J. Hinch told the morning show. What's been the difference between this year's Tiger team and previous teams? Why the fast start? And Wenzel Perez, how about this guy? Is he here to stay? Some of the things they talked about this morning with A.J. Hinch. You'll hear it in the noon hour leading into Tiger Afternoon Baseball, which you can still hear right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Here's a leaf blower.
It's unbelievable.
It really is. I mean, it's become part of the show. Is when we are outside Coer Park, there will be mowing and there will be leaf blowing. Sometimes there's construction. At some point, a large piece of heavy machinery will back up today, and we will get the beeping of that. It's just part of doing the show outside Coer Park, and I've come to embrace it. Let's go. Get that leaf blower going.
Yeah.
248-539-9797. Feedback coming in. We've arrived at a point where I have to teach my 60-year-old parents how to navigate a jailbroken Fire Stick in order to watch the Tigers, Pistons, and Red Wings. Fun stuff. That's from Mike in Plymouth. My parents are retired and in their 70s. They have Xfinity until today. Not only do they watch the Tiger games at night, they also watch the replay the next day, sometimes twice. They are not good with technology. They do not and will not stream. So my parents will now go from watching each Tiger broadcast 2 or 3 times to 0. There is no in-between here. Unnamed texter, the Bally's app is by far the worst app I have ever used. Canceled after 1 month. Casting to TV won't work, does not work on all LG TVs. Unnamed texter, to watch the Red Wings, I have to buy a Fire Stick, subscribe to a VPN, and subscribe to ESPN+. Worst part is I have YouTube TV, and theoretically carries the Wings. And yet you can't get it. 248.
I'm not hearing good things.
No. Nope.
Not hearing good things.
248-539-9797. Let's get back to your phone calls here on 97.1 The Ticket. Who do we got next here? We go to Rob. You're next on 97.1. Hi, Rob.
Hey, how you guys doing? Love your show. Listen every day.
Thank you, Rob.
I got to believe that sooner or later the Bally Sports television advertisers are going to have to step in here and say, what am I paying you for? Because I've just lost thousands and thousands of viewing audience that are my customers. You're talking about Meyer and Mary Grove Awning and Detroit area, Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and Little Caesars. I mean, these are big advertisers, and they just lost thousands and thousands of viewers by this move between Xfinity and Bally. I got to believe that sooner or later they're going to step in and could make a difference here and get Xfinity to wise up and Bally to wise up and come to some kind of agreement.
Yeah, I mean, given that and it's an excellent point. I mean, it's an excellent point, and given that we're not at the negotiating table, it would be really interesting. We always talk about fly on the wall during draft day. Fly on the wall of these negotiations. How close are they? Who is given the most? Because I'm gonna guess, because there's problems all around the country, and we're not the first market to experience this, that the whole regional sports network concept is a tough one to execute properly and make money. Now, that doesn't absolve them from the problems with their app, but I don't think what Bally's is trying to do is very easy, because we've heard this story in other markets. It's just finally hit us.
Yeah.
And so I think it's probably pretty tough, but at least get your app right. But you're right. The advertiser's got to be, hey, what the hell?
Well, Major League Baseball needs to step in and try to mediate or figure out some solution here, because it's their product.
Yep.
And it's hard to sell a product if you don't have it on TV.
Calvin is next here on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Calvin. Oh, we lost Calvin. Who do we got next here? Sorry, Brandon. You're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Brandon.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Okay.
All right, Brandon.
So I'm in a streaming household. So I've not only used the Bally Sports app, but I've had it for Red Wing season, the Tiger season. So when people say that it's bad, like it's like a 1998 television. So the Tigers will be down by 1 run in the bottom of the 9th with somebody on. It'll cut out. Like, they don't just cut out when nothing's going on. It'll cut out right when the Red Wings are about to score like a goal or something. And the TV remote, like, sometimes the TV remote won't be next to you. So as soon as it cuts out, you have to get up, you have to find the remote, you have to scramble. Like, it's just a nightmare. But, I mean, for a streaming house, it works because I don't pay that much for it. And I know they do, like, the free trial and whatnot. But the people that are calling and saying that Bally Sports is like watching 1998 TV, that is true.
I can't believe that in this day and age that, I mean, they must, I don't know how you have an app that doesn't work and you're offering that up as the alternative. What?
So
Well,
when Bally
let's
first
hope
came
this
out,
gives
I
him the
talked to my
impetus to
girlfriend.
fix
I
it.
was like, I thought Bally was a gym. Like, didn't there used to be something called Bally Fitness?
Yeah.
And I was like, where did they get enough money to buy FSN? And, I mean, now I'm used to it. But when it first came out, I was like, what the heck is this? Like, Bally? It makes no sense.
I
But
don't know either, and I'm reluctant to point the finger directly at them, but they control the quality of the app. And if they haven't put the time, the research, and the money into developing an app that works, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have to have an app that works if that's the only way people, many of us, can get it.
Like I said, maybe this is the impetus to get them to fix all the issues with that, make it a competent app, and a realistic alternative for people to turn to.
248-539-9797. Just got this from Buddy Ryan. Hey, Doug, I'm so pissed off and sick to my stomach over this Bally crap. I called 3 different buddies this morning just to vent and look for some consoling. The only thing I watch on TV is sports. I'm lost right now. What do I do?
You sure that wasn't you?
I'm sure it wasn't me. What do you do? I don't know. I don't know. You tune into the radio. That's the great thing about baseball. Baseball on the radio really translates.
Baseball on the radio is awesome. But thinking long term to the other sports and the rest of this year, and you're going to want to watch games if it drags on. I mean, I just was looked up to see what football costs. The plans anywhere from $33 a month to $100 a month, depending on what package you want to go with. And start thinking in my mind, all right, is that worth it? I mean, for what we do for a living, I mean, this
we kind of have to. I got some. Look, for people just joining us right now on Xfinity on channel 258 MLB Network this afternoon at 1 o'clock. It says Major League Baseball. I clicked on it and it said St. Louis at Detroit. So MLB Network channel 258 on your Xfinity is apparently carrying the Tigers game this afternoon. Is there blackout restrictions? I don't know. Friday, there's 2 games. Angels at Gribe, Tigers at New York. Saturday, 2 games. Bo Sox at Minnesota, Tigers at New York. Sunday, 2 games. Angels at Gribe, Tigers at New York. Monday, when the Tigers are in Cleveland against the Gribe, that is not listed as an MLB Network game. So I don't know. I don't know how if we can piece it together and get through the weekend, awesome for all of us. But that's for Xfinity carriers, and we'll see today. I don't know what their blackout rules are, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Tiger games on MLB Network before. 248-539-9797.
Yeah, I have as well, and I think sometimes they carry the other team's feed. So is that what happens? Is that a way to get around blackouts?
Just as soon as we get Benetti, we lose him?
Right. Well, you can still get Benetti. You just have to figure it out through the app.
Yeah.
Or find a carrier that has it, DirecTV or whatever.
Josh, you're next on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Josh.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Okay.
Hey, I was just going to say, I hear a lot of people complain about the app. I have YouTube TV, so obviously it doesn't carry Bally Sports, but I'm the complete opposite. I've never had a problem with it, like, ever. So
with the Bally's app?
Complain about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the only thing that's a bummer is, like, my parents have Xfinity, so I'd go over there and catch a game with my dad here and there. So that's kind of bummed that he doesn't get to watch games anymore. But, yeah, I don't have any issues with the Bally app, so I don't know if people have, like, bad internet, they're stealing McDonald's Wi-Fi or what.
That's a great question. I wondered how much of this is relying upon the strength of your internet signal. But it's something that it sounds to me like there's way too many people that have issues that say this is the worst app I have, meaning it works for other apps. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
what
is
I don't know
kinda
what the
pricey,
problems
though. $20 a month is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. I want to watch my baseball.
Josh, thanks. 248-539-9797. Coming up today at 11:47, we will get into yesterday's 2 games. In the noon hour, hear from A.J. Hinch, the best of what he told the morning show, including solutions for torque and why he pulled Flaherty and why he went with Miller in Game 1 yesterday. Some interesting stuff from the skipper of the Tigers. It's Carson Anderson outside Comerica here on 97.1 The Ticket. Doug Carr, Scott Anderson, 97.1 a ticket, 248-539-9797. Here's some perspective. I appreciate this. From an unnamed texter, Xfinity charges $10.15 monthly regional sports fee. If that's removed and the app is $20, I suppose that's not terrible. Okay, hey man, that's a good perspective.
It's glass half full.
Yeah, I'm paying $9 more, and Xfinity did say, and I give them credit for this, that they will discount your future cable bills since Bally's is not part of it. If they're doing it for the $10.15, then it's $9 a month total more that you're paying for the app.
But if the app sucks.
Which brings us to Alan Algonac. Bally's is the worst app ever made. Whoever created it should be exiled. I always have to re-sign in, even if I've used the app a few hours ago. Unnamed texter, biggest problem with the app is the same 2 commercials over and over and over. Freezes, then back to commercials. Paul and Shelby, anyone who gets the Bally Sports app streaming will be extremely disappointed. It's an absolute clown show. It blows. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Nathan. You're next on 97.1. Hi, Nathan.
Hey there. Love the guys' show.
Thank you.
But the last caller called in and was talking about like internet connection. I pay for like 500 megabytes per second. And I constantly have issues. The one guy who just texted in now saying he constantly has to log back in. I constantly have to log back in, and I don't understand it. Like he's saying, it's like 3 hours later. I was constantly, every single time I'm chiming in to watch the Tigers or the Red Wings, not the Pistons, I constantly have to relog back in. Connection issues, everything that everybody is saying, where it cuts out mid-game or something like that, it happens from time to time. I don't have to relog back in mid-game, thank God, but every single time it's like 24 hours later at least, I constantly have to relog back in, and then, like everyone's saying, the connection issues. And the biggest thing to me is just when you compare it to other entertainment apps, $20, you can get Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN Plus for like $15.99. That's 3 apps for one, and then you go and you have to pay the $20 for the Bally app. To me, it's just the value's just not there unless you're just a hardcore Tigers fan or Detroit sports fan, which I am. So it just makes me sad that this is just a bad app and it's combined with just bad value.
Yeah, you start thinking about it. So if it's $20 a month, and so $240 a year, and you're getting, I don't know how many of the Tigers games, 150 of them, because some of them get parked in other places. You get pretty much, 70 Red Wings, 70 Piston games. Again, some get parked other places. So you're talking about getting maybe close to 300 total games for $240, $1 a game. It doesn't seem that bad, but if the app doesn't work, what are we paying for?
Yeah, exactly. Like individually, everything that we're saying is none of it is, I guess, terrible. It's just a small inconvenience. But then you combine everything with the fact that the app is not good, and then you do compare it to other entertainment apps. It's not equal value to other apps in my mind. But if you're a hardcore Detroit sports fan like me, it's, it kind of is what it is at this point.
Hey, thank you for the phone call. At some point, who I think might intervene here and step in? And you think about, all right, it's all about money.
Big Gretsch?
No. I kind of call them the Illiches. It's your product. It's your product on 2 of these 3 teams. And I think the Illiches need to step in. They're doing fine. Am I wrong here? Because I don't like doing the whole rip on Chris thing.
But you know what?
But I think Mike Ilitch would have done something about this.
No, I don't look at them. I look at Major League Baseball needs to be the one that steps in. I'd love to have full transparency and find out, okay, what are you guys bickering about? What's the money? Okay.
Yeah.
What's Xfinity want? And what is
can the
Bally's
Ilitch family get involved here and do something about it? I'm not ripping them. I'm just saying, hey man, here's an idea.
Well, they got a giant business empire that stretches beyond the baseball, so that's why I'm not going to put it at their feet to get this done. It's not.
We're great. We're great at spending other people's money.
Right. Exactly. But to me, it's baseball. It's the baseball product as a whole. So let's go. MLB step up, do something about it. They did something for the other teams that were left in the lurch.
Did they?
Yeah. So step up, do something here.
I'm sorry, educate me.
I can't tell you exactly what it was because I don't remember exactly what it was, but they had this issue a year ago when it was first broken up, and MLB was going to – I thought that they took on the cost for some of those to keep them going for a period of time. So, I mean, this is obviously fresh. This is day one that we're not going to have it on TV here, at least on Bally's.
Again, we think Channel 258 MLB Network on Xfinity says that they are carrying today's St. Louis Tiger game and maybe all weekend long Tigers and Yankees. It's part of 2 games listed each day. So we'll see. Nick, you're next on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Nick.
Hey, guys. First-time caller.
Thank you for calling.
So I have the app, and I've had it for a little while. I'm in the middle of Michigan, and so I can only do Bally Sports. My biggest issue is that, along with the login issues and the commercials, when you go into it and you select Tigers Live, it'll play through, but then it won't say this is coming to an end. It will just reboot. So, like, I'm getting ready, grilling, getting ready for the game. It's kind of background noise, and it reboots, and all of a sudden we're in the second inning, and I have no idea about it. I have to close out the app, go back in, and pull up the game itself. Drives me nuts.
So you have app issues?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, now we just got this following one. A listener named JD texted us and said the app isn't as bad as people are making it seem, in my opinion. I mean, it's 9 out of 10 are saying that the app is a problem, and I've streamed a ton of sports through Peacock, through the CBS Sports app, through ESPN, and I've never had issues. Now, I shouldn't say never. I rarely have issues to the point where I'm like, I don't want this app. But there's a lot of people saying that there are struggles like you. 248-539-9797. Joe is next on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Joe.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, so, I mean, I'm in the 90% of people who say the app sucks, but, I mean, I think that point's been made by now. I think this is also a problem. It's indicative of other things, like even Amazon Prime, for example, like a few weeks ago or whatever it was, raised their prices. So now if you were like one of the original subscribers for Amazon Prime, now you get commercials during movies unless you pay more. And as you mentioned, that Xfinity already had this built-in, sports premium, whatever, was it $10 you said? I mean, that's just the way these things are going now, is that they say, okay, we already have you on the hook, and instead of kind of like grandfather clausing the people who have already been subscribers or whatever, it's basically, screw it, we're just going to charge everybody else more. And it's just the way it is, and I think that it's just getting out of hand. I mean, like you said, cutting the cord at first was a great idea. Now you end up paying so much more for the 20 different apps you have and the streaming services that you end up paying more than the cable you originally cut in the first place.
We've tested it in the past few years, and we realized that when we tried to basically get everything we wanted when we cut the cord, we were paying about the same with the inconvenience of having to navigate apps and streaming services instead of the convenience of cable, so it wasn't worth it for us. Now we have to reconsider. Maybe it's gotten better. YouTube TV was the closest I came to the ease of use. But YouTube TV doesn't carry Bally's.
Yeah, once upon a time when you had cable, or most of us, when we had cable, you could just switch from cable, channel to channel. Now it's a matter of getting out of the app, logging into another app. Oh, I haven't logged into that one for a week. Now I have to log into that one for a week. I mean, it's just so inconvenient if you, God forbid, want to just switch over during a commercial,
So maybe the solution is that Bally strikes a deal with YouTube TV. Says, hey, we're no longer with Xfinity. What do you say we do something?
Well,
so here's something from the Free Press article this morning. It says Diamond Sports, which is
Bally's,
the parent company of Bally's, had been on the brink of extinction in recent years, filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and having MLB take over the production and distribution for 2 teams last season. So will the Tigers be one of those teams? Is this something that maybe has to happen here?
Well, any solution we're in favor of. Any solution.
Yeah, or just get back to the negotiating table and figure it out.
It's the timing of this is incredible. They go out, Tigers land a premier play-by-play guy in Jason Benetti. And look, I mean,
the broadcast is is great.
The podcast is great. The team is interesting. The draft is over. The floor is yours, and the plug gets pulled.
Yeah.
This almost feels like a cruel trick, to be honest
Right.
with you. It's just mean.
It is
It's
just
mean. This is mean.
It's uncalled for.
Carson Anderson, 97.1, the ticket. The NBA playoffs have tipped off, but it's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel because right now new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to use on, well, whatever you want. Same game parlays, live bets, championship futures, and so much more. There's no better place to get in on the action than America's #1 sportsbook, which is FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Doug to get started. That's FanDuel.com/Doug. And new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Doug Carr, Scott Anderson, 97.1 a ticket outside Coer Park. Sun's out shining now, turning into a beautiful day for baseball this afternoon. You'll hear it here on 97.1 the ticket. And hey, yesterday was kind of great and kind of frustrating. Most of the first game was great. Jack Flaherty put on an absolute show. an absolute show. And I don't know that it's time for you to do a victory lap, but I give you credit because you said one of your bold-ass predictions was by the time we got to May, we would owe Jack Flaherty an apology. And it's trending in a nice direction. I'll just say that.
Well,
and I will pat you on the back once. That's it, though, one time. Because it's a decent prediction. I don't know that we owe him an apology, but there's nothing more I'd like than for this guy to come up and prove that the complaining and angst that I was, certainly part of about his signing was all not worth it. And here's the thing about him. He's got the chance to do that thing that I've talked about on the air. When you're skeptical of someone or you're not sold on someone and they win you over, that bond is tight. He becomes your guy. And I want Jack Flaherty to be my guy more than just a lookalike for the Sitch from Jersey Shore.
Oh, fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, he ranks highly in several categories in baseball this year, despite not having a great ERA. I think his ERA is still like 4 even after yesterday. But it's the strikeout to walk ratio is insane. He had 14 strikeouts yesterday, 1 walk. He whiffed the first 7 batters he faced last night, or yesterday during the day. I think it was Gibson who he was facing was matching him. I mean, both pitchers were outstanding yesterday in the first game of the doubleheader. Is this something you expect, for the rest of the season? I don't expect it the rest of the season, but he has had years in the past where Jack Flaherty was a really good pitcher. Now, the last year, maybe not so much, last year and a half, maybe not so much, but there's talent there. And you saw it on full display yesterday. I mean, 97 painting the outer edge. He was able to spot that ball wherever he wanted. His command was incredible yesterday during the day. But the problem that comes with being a strikeout pitcher is you throw a lot of pitches.
Yep.
He didn't particularly throw a ton of pitches yesterday, but that's baseball today. Now it seems it's not that long ago, several years ago, he's up towards 120. You better get him out. Now it's like he's up towards 90. Do you have to get him out?
Well, A.J. Hinch explained the reason why, and you'll hear it next hour. The Birchie kid tweeted out the following. Flaherty suddenly leads the American League in strikeouts and leads the majors in strikeout to walk ratio. So that's pretty awesome. And now they did lose the game because they didn't score a lot of runs, but get into
the bullpen failed, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, and I don't think we can expect it to be perfect, but God bless them because they've been close to perfect. In the meantime, they come out in the second game.
Great.
And they broke out the whooping stick and put some runs up. And guys coming through. Riley Green, 4 for 9, 2 home runs and a double. Jan Canna, another big game. Wenzel Perez homering from both sides of the plate. And here comes another mower.
Even when they're not mowing, they're making noise.
Just come hang out here. Yeah, run your mower. It's Run Your Mower Day here at Coer Park. Wenzel Perez. I mean, ride the hot hand, right?
Well, that's the thing with Wenzel is that he's a guy that remember I said a few weeks ago when they're going to bring him up. I'm like, there's a lot to like with him because he can do a lot of different things. He's very athletic. He's a switch hitter, so you don't have to take him out because of matchups. He's versatile enough where he can play the infield and the outfield. He's got speed. He's got a lot of tools that you would like in baseball. And the last few years being brought up through the system, I mean, you could see it in various stages where, okay, is this going to click? And it did. And he got his opportunity. He's making the most of it. And I look at what he's doing right now, and I think about a few years ago when Akil Baddoo came to this team.
Yeah.
And he started off hot as a firecracker, right, and did everything. He was the catalyst for the team. He was stealing bases. He was drawing walks. He was hitting bombs. He made everything exciting. And we all got excited about Akil Baddoo, and he's back at AAA right now, but he's playing well at AAA. But that's what Wenzel Perez is doing. He's giving this team an energy right now and a lift when they clearly need it because there aren't enough guys that are hitting. And you just see it. He's excited. Got a big smile on his face. I mean, 3 home runs already. He's hit from both sides of the plate. He's hitting opposite field home runs. And, they're working him in more and more into the outfield just to see if they can continue to use him. So
248-539-9797. Aaron, you're next here on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, thank you, Aaron.
Hey, I just wanted to call in with my experience on the Bally Sports app because the guys had said the guy that said he never has any trouble unless it's something important going on, ninth inning, third period, stuff like that.
Right.
That's what those two games against the Canadians, under 7 minutes, watching my Bally's app was like watching like an old school tube TV from 50 yards away. Both those last two games against the Canadians.
Oh.
And then the thing I haven't heard anyone say is if people that are going to switch or having to go get the app now that had cable, the thing that I think they're going to find probably infuriating or hilarious is they do this thing where they go to commercial break and they don't have commercials and they just put this digital screensaver with pictures of sports and like random sport noises and people cheering in the background.
Yeah.
It's
I
almost like
remember
they
that.
it's almost like they had a college kid design their app, gave them $500, and then they just kept it to say forever the way it was.
Yeah, you hear the skating of the ice and the basketball dribbling and the fans cheering. Yeah, it'll drive you crazy after a while. It really will. And
it's like seeing a couple fall in love and fall into the water after a proposal.
Oh God! Yeah,
What? Is that a commercial that airs a lot?
The bottom line is we are doing a lot of first world problem stuff, but when you can't see a game through pixelation, that's more than first world problems. That's just the quality of the product.
Those two games against the Canadians, they were right down during nail biting time.
Yeah, those were two pretty great finishes. Yeah, that would be awful.
It's tough. Really, really tough.
Particularly, we'll go when next season starts.
Yeah,
we're going to reference the end of the Red Wings season and how great those games were to watch.
Just in terms of the intensity.
Even though Montreal's not a very good hockey team, but the Red Wings, the way that they made it interesting at the end of the season,
and found a way to,
which is unfortunate because it shouldn't have been interesting. Nope. It should have been in, but those finishes against Montreal in those two games. I mean, we didn't really have enough time to talk about it because football was right back in the full swing after that. Seconds left on the clock,
dude,
for them to even force the overtime, and then the way they score in overtime,
they dug too deep a hole, but just barely, and tried so hard to dig out of it, and
I can't imagine that
dangerously close.
A situation like that, and you're trying to watch the game, and then you have to watch your pixelation or. Hey, it's refreshing and all that.
Is Lucas Raymond scoring another big goal.
I mean, it would have been topic number one on the radio.
The people that had the Bally's app that were watching the game, they probably don't even realize how good Lucas Raymond is because they missed it. 248-539-9797. Feedback. I gave my friend my login for Bally. He said it's so bad that I'm complaining about an app that I use for free. I have AT&T Internet with the Bally's app. Never had an issue watching anything. Still cannot find Red Wing playoff games. That's from Andy in Grosse Pointe Woods. I see what you did there. Yeah, we know. Well, at least the Capitals didn't waste the opportunity that they got.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh.
I don't play these games with my sports programs. I bite the bullet, overpay for cable, and get great reception with zero issues. Yes, it's pricey, but I don't miss a pitch. Go Tigers. Unnamed texter, I have the fastest internet money can buy. Bally's app sucks. Everything else works with no issues. Dan and Monroe, why isn't the Tigers organization stepping in here and forcing some type of compromise? Well, I'm begging the Ilitch family to step up.
Yeah, I'm begging Major League Baseball. They did it last year. Do it this year.
Step in. It's your product. You need to do something about this.
And it's a good product. I mean, the team's playing well. It's a well-oiled machine when it comes to the broadcast. It's refreshing to see what they're doing this year. And Benetti's great, and this is something that should be a no-brainer. And for whatever reason, we got to brain it.
The first time in a long time, the floor is yours, Tigers, and people are kind of getting into it. They're getting into it, and instead now the games aren't available. At least for some of us, many of us. 248-539-9797. Get to more of your phone calls and feedback next hour. Also, A.J. Hinch, the best of what he told the morning show leading into Tiger Afternoon Baseball, which you still can hear here on 97.1 The Ticket. Gator, I think we're in for some interesting shows this summer.
Yeah.
So we have a son that's graduating this weekend and a daughter that's coming home after living in the dorm for the last 8 months. And we're going to have a full house for about a month and a half before my son is off to do his next chapter.
Uh-huh.
I can already tell because we've kind of had a soft move-in. My daughter has come home sort of and brought some stuff home and spent the night and then goes back to the dorm, stays the next night at the dorm. There are going to be some challenges. There are going to be some challenges with the kids coming home.
Oh, because here come some rules.
We're going to have to reestablish that things like the dish doesn't get left in the middle of the living room.
No, it doesn't.
Just things like that.
No.
It's
you're going to have chores. These are chores coming
well,
up.
I mean, they've kind of lived that college lifestyle, and so.
Are you going to continue to take on laundry? Are you going to delegate that?
I don't know, and I'd like to think that they can be responsible for themselves, but I think when they come home, I think they go back into their old programming where mom and dad's got it.
That's right.
And I'm ready for them to show some adult tendencies, and I'm not sure I'm going to get what I'm looking for. So anyway, I'm just foreshadowing we're going to have some interesting shows this summer. And you are smiling and laughing for a couple of reasons. One is because I think you like to see me suffer and get frustrated.
Well, there's that.
Yes. And two is I think sometimes you do side with the kids.
Sometimes you do. Not always.
No, not always.
This.
Not always.
No, but I'm really smiling because the ambient sound that's coming in, it never stops when we're on this remote.
Oh,
whether it's the
church
lawnmowers, and now we got church bells going. It just doesn't stop.
I fully expect a helicopter to land in front of our broadcast location at some time in the next 40 minutes. In fact, I'll be worried if one doesn't, given what we're used to. Big story today, as you heard there in the update, is the Bally's Xfinity thing, which I don't like just bitching without solutions, but I'm going to a certain degree. This is unforgivable as far as I'm concerned. We finally have a baseball team worth watching, and they have the floor. Like, the Red Wings postseason run is over. The draft came to Detroit and was a wild success and came and left, and now the floor is theirs, and for the first time in close to a decade, we have a team that's worth watching. And what happens? The plug gets pulled for the primary provider of the bulk of people who watch Tiger baseball? Are you kidding me?
I mean,
this is just mean.
This is, my whole life of watching baseball started in the late 70s. And, it was, okay, we had George Kell and Al Kaline, and they did a ton of games. But not all the games were on TV, but a ton of them were. And then you got into, on TV or whatever, started to pick up some of those Tiger games on the weekends, and they got into doing more, and, it was an alternative to it. And
Don't forget about Pass.
Well, right, and it morphed into Pass, and then cable comes around, and once you got into cable, well, you got all the games because you got the advantage of watching it on Pass or watching it on Channel 4 or whatever the case was, and just it's never been – baseball and TV has been a part of my life since I can remember watching sports. Like, it hasn't stopped.
Well,
and now today, of all days –
Yep.
Now it's going to come to a stop?
Well, we're hearkening back to the days of yore, radio only. Well, not for everybody. You can still watch on the app.
Yeah, you can do it, but now you have to go through hoops to do it, whereas before it was always just a press of the button and you got it. But now you got to find alternatives if you hadn't already. And some people are like, whatever, dude, cry me a river. I've had, Fubo or whatever. And
yeah, the DirecTV crowd's cool. But the app, there's two things about this. One is everybody experiment along with me. MLB Network is channel 258 on Xfinity, and it lists that it's carrying the Tigers in St. Louis today. And you can go to MLB Network and just watch Major League Baseball games, and I have. And I'm pretty sure I've seen the Tigers there. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there are 2 games listed each day. Tigers at the Yankees is one of them, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, if we get to Monday, and if that's our alternative and we can watch games, the next 4 games, Monday when they go to Cleveland to play the Gribe, which is Guardians and Tribe mixed together, Gribe, then that game isn't offered on MLB Network. So that might be, for those of us with Xfinity, our first real taste of this. They could black out the game today. I don't know how this is going to work. But
I don't know how it's going to work either. And because if the game's been on both, I've always watched it on Bally's. I haven't even tried to go to MLB channel, but because it's still, I mean, technically Bally's is still around, obviously, because they're through other services. They're just not through Xfinity. So because I'm an Xfinity customer, am I going to get shut out? Like, I'm going to be watching the game. I'll be here at the ballpark watching the game for a good portion of it before I head home to deal with the dog. But when I get home, I want to watch the end of the game. And it may not be able to because there might be a blackout situation with MLB TV because it's still on Xfinity.
Well, you could still listen, and the good news is baseball really does translate to the radio. It's a great sport to listen to. It is not.
Oh, he's all dressed up like he's a coach.
But I just got a text from my buddy Jeff. I've got DirecTV, 6-pack of Busch Light for admission. He's going to start a little cottage industry,
right?
Bringing people home, bringing people to his home to
bar
charge
owners,
admission and watching games.
The bar owners that carried Xfinity over DirecTV, they got real decisions to make.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks because imagine having to change everything out if you're going to cut the cord if you're a bar owner and then switch over to DirecTV. But then let's say that this gets solved. There's a reason they chose one over the other in the first place.
Right.
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 The hassle that's going to take place, and I hope for all of our sakes that this just gets settled like ASAP.
Amen.
So that we can just get back to what life is as normal. This
Now,
is really disruptive.
It's also not unique to Detroit. These problems have
raise the roof.
Yeah.
Raising the roof.
These problems aren't unique to Detroit. There have been a lot of I've seen these stories in other markets. I got relatives in San Diego. They've had this issue for over a year, and it didn't get resolved, at least in the cable provider in El Cajon. It did not get resolved. But you can see that this could drag on, and this might be our new normal. And, I'm not anti-streaming by any stretch of the imagination. I've decided in my adulthood as I mature, Gator, that I am going to try to embrace whatever the new technology is. Like the idea of streaming was something completely foreign to us probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. What do you mean streaming? And now it's, things are that's becoming part of my normal. I've streamed a lot of sporting events, and for the most part, it's incident free. There is some minor pixelation, and sometimes you deal with having to back out of apps. You can't quickly flip around. Right. But I'm not going to be stubborn and cost myself the enjoyment of watching games because I don't want to stream or I don't want to accept this, or even I don't want to pay a little bit more. If it's something I want to watch, I'll pay a little bit more.
Well,
but the fact that Bally's app is getting widely trashed makes it, here's your alternative. By the way, the alternative costs more and it sucks, but here it is. And we're supposed to be stoked about that?
Well, it's like peeling an onion, and here's another problem. It's like renovating an old house. You don't know until you take the walls down what's behind them. And another issue that people brought up is that, like LG TVs, you can't get the app right away to it.
Right.
So now you got to think of some other ways.
So what's the workaround?
Right, because, hey, guess who's got an LG TV and Xfinity? This guy.
Yeah, and I know that there are people out there rolling their eyes. You're so foolish. Just jailbreak it, and I got, okay.
I'd like not to break the law.
I am convinced the first time I go to do that will be the day after that. The FCC will figure out how to track down whoever's breaking it, and I'll end up in prison because I wanted to watch Tigers-Cardinals. Yeah, and I wanted to see Scooble's next start, and the next thing you know, I'm behind bars. That's what would happen.
You want to see how Kenta Maeda was going to do?
That's right.
Look out.
Boy, it cost me a 6-month stint.
Yeah.
I'm going to be locked down because I was like, Torque's first home run's coming today. Nope, I'm in jail. I'm in jail. That's what's going to happen.
That'd be quite the extreme.
248-539-9797. All right, so we've got that to talk about today. Obviously, Tigers continue to take residence above 500, and we love it. There was some stuff that happened yesterday that we need to talk about, and A.J. Hinch talked about with our morning show. We'll bring the best of what he had to say, but straight ahead, apparently the Lions had laid the groundwork to trade up for someone else, but when Terrion Arnold fell to their lap, they took him. We'll tell you who that someone else was coming up today at 12:16 here on Carson Anderson from outside Coer Park here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Well, if you want that beautiful weed-free lawn, call the folks at Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service, where you get green and stay green with Natural Way. 888-GET-GREEN is the telephone number, and for a limited time, you can still purchase the full lawn program, and you'll get free grub control, but you got to mention me, Gator, and the station 97.1 The Ticket. You don't want to wait around, okay? Dandelions are starting to take seed right now, and that's not good. You don't want to see them. I see some dandelions on my neighbor's yard, and it's not a good look. Look, it's a weed, and it's going to rob your lawn of water and nutrients. So stop the dandelions before they go to seed. Plus, it's not too late to treat for crabgrass right now as well. So call them for a beautiful weed-free lawn this summer. Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service. They don't give you the runaround. They have experts that know what they're doing that will custom tailor a solution specific for your yard and for your home. I just want stuff fixed. That's what they do. They fix it. They come out with those solutions for you. They're locally owned for over 30 years. It's a company I've trusted with my lawn for over a dozen years right now, almost a dozen years. And frankly, I love it because they offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Give them a call today, Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service, 888-GET-GREEN, or go to naturalwaylawn.com.
All right, according to Albert Breer, he's writing about the Lions in the draft and how much they lean on Nick Saban, which seems would stand to reason given how many Alabama players they have taken in the last three drafts. Jamison Williams, they took Jahmyr Gibbs, Brian Branch, and this year Terrion Arnold. But Albert Beer reporting today, Detroit had actually laid the groundwork for a trade-up. I believe Missouri defensive end Darius Robinson was the target, which made it easy to pivot and get aggressive going up from 29 to 24 to land a falling Arnold. So Darius Robinson, the other thing I was thinking about Arnold is these players know, right? Hey, if I go 10th, this is what the contract was for the guy that went 10th last year. And Terrion Arnold was probably looking, I could go anywhere between like 8 and 16. The fact that when he went to Detroit at 24 and he was still happy tells you a lot about the reputation of this organization, because at the core of what happened is he kind of lost money that night.
Right. Yeah, well, that's a definite issue.
Yep. But he didn't seem, he was happy to be here. So anyway, long story short, I thought it was interesting that Darius Robinson was a target, but when they got the crack at Arnold, they took it. And I love that he just immediately said, I'm home. He wasn't worried about the difference between what a guy at 14 makes and a guy at 24 made. He was happy to be here.
All right. Well, what I take out of that story is that the Lions got their number one guy, right? They didn't expect that he was going to be there, so they were looking to trade up, which I also liked, them being aggressive, that they were looking to trade up to take Darius Robinson. But Terrion Arnold's there.
And
we're
Kang,
trading up to take him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Kang. And Darius Robinson went 27th to Arizona. Is that correct?
That is correct. So even if they weren't able to get Arnold, they were going to have to move up somehow to get, this is why Brad Holmes always says they have more information than we do. They knew that Robinson was going to go ahead of 29, and so they're laying the groundwork, like Breer said, to move up. Once Arnold started falling, they're like, hey, wait a second, Arnold's higher on our board. We're going to go get Arnold if he's still there. So if Arnold goes 23, for example, they probably would have traded up at 24 still and got Robinson. And another thing this thing tells me is they don't go by position, they go by player. They weren't looking for a DB, they weren't looking for a DN, they were looking for Arnold or they were looking for Robinson,
Yep. More affirmation. Everything they tell us appears to be true.
Well, they got the bucket, and then they've got the players listed in that bucket, and they just go down the list.
All right. Let's get back to your open line calls, 248-539-9797. Carson Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. Brandon, you're next on 97.1. Hi, Brandon. Brandon, are you there?
Yes. Hey, sorry, guys.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Long-time listener. Love the show, guys. I'm just wanted to talk more about Valley Sports app garbage thing. I've been using their app for a couple of years, and actually last year I deleted it and stopped watching the Tigers because the app was so bad. And I'm one of these guys that I have to watch baseball at night or I'm sad and depressed. And I tend to watch games. I don't start them right away. I like to fast forward through commercials and whatnot. Well, the Valley Sports app had this thing going where you'd start a game, and once you pause it or try fast forwarding, it would immediately just skip right to the live part of the game, and it would ruin the game every time I'd watch it. And it was so frustrating. And it does stuff like this nonstop.
I know someone who would hate that.
But other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah. Mr. Bubble over here.
Yeah,
you would not be happy with that.
Would not work for me. Brandon, thank you for sharing. Kevin, you're next on 97.1 A Ticket. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing? Long-time listener on Odyssey out in Colorado.
Thank you.
And just wanted to say welcome to reality with this. Comcast.
You guys got something. You got something out there with what's the network in Colorado that's given altitude? Yeah.
Yeah. It's been going on for years. These people out here, these Avalanche fans, they missed a whole Stanley Cup winning season a couple of years ago. And I think that's yeah. Well, I think it's going to be more heard of. So it's not unusual. So be prepared. And also, I watch every Tiger game on MLB.com. I think it's 99 or 129, and I get it's great streaming and everything.
So what platform do you get that MLB.com?
It's the app, MLB.com. It's right.
Okay,
it's
so
on their
if
website.
you just have the MLB.com app, do you pay for it?
Yeah, annual. I think it's 99 or 129.
Okay, so for $99 or $129 on the MLB.com. Now that might not work locally.
That's the problem.
That might not work
because we had somebody say earlier.
But you're calling from Colorado.
It could be. Yeah, good point.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let's talk about the team here a little bit. Yesterday, They split with St. Louis, came dangerously close to winning them both. They go for another series win today, and that we've documented how much we wanted a Tiger team to get off to a quick start, and they have. The last 3 seasons, the Tigers were a combined 24 games under 500 by the time we got to May 1st. And if you think about it, any month that you move the needle 8 games above or 8 games below, that's dramatic movement in a month. The Tigers were terrible the first month of the season the last 3 years. To be 24 games under in 3 months, the last 3 Aprils, is ridiculous.
No, that's terrible. And this is, but this looked like it was going to be a different team. They had some good pitching. We're still waiting for the hitting to be more consistently good. But the pitching has been, by and large, excellent. You know, you have a couple hiccups here and there, but they got through it yesterday in the nightcap. The first game, not so much. But pitching has been what's carried this team.
So to be 17-13 heading into May, it's refreshing. And A.J. Hinch this morning on the morning show was asked, what's the difference between starts the last 3 years and this year? He never does victory laps, nor does he give up. He's always talking about how long the season is and how, you know, he just literally focuses on the next game.
Yeah, he's very short term when he looks at it, and I appreciate that. And I also appreciate that he's like reminding everybody last year's team was a different team.
Yep.
Different personnel, totally, you know, and you look at this, not totally, but I mean, it seems like half the team is turned over in different ways, so why bother comparing it to last year's team? Now, you can talk about aspects of it, and to me, the big difference is the pitching.
All right, more from A.J. Hinch. So Spencer Torkelson's problems, you know, it's a struggle. I think everybody's rooting for him, but let's face it, at some point you have to wonder if a trip to the minors would help. The guys asked him, all right, do you consider sending him to Toledo for a reset? Here's what A.J. Hinch said to that idea. It's kind of what we've said a long time, is that for this team to reach whatever potential they may have, to hit their ceiling, it feels like Torque almost has to be a part of it.
Yeah, and you would expect him to be, although his numbers are down significantly with his barrel rate and his hard hit rate and all that this year. He's got a little bit of a track record of being a guy that has higher rates than that. So give him some time to work through it. Had a couple hits yesterday, got on base with a walk as well. Maybe we're starting to see it. I don't know, because it feels like we've seen this before this season, where he'll have a game where he smacks a couple of doubles and then he goes over for the next couple of games. It's a swing and miss that gets you alarmed a little bit. And then he talked about, getting in between. He's either too late in the fastball or too early on the breaking pitches. You got to find that equilibrium there, and he was drafted 1-1 for a reason. So got to give it a little bit of time, I guess. But the question is, how much time do you give it? And right now, he's not in any hurry to call him into the office and let him know he's going to be sent down.
The one thing about development of baseball players is it feels like your career is littered with trapdoors. The moment somebody figures out you and what you can't handle, everybody does it. And I was watching the game the other day, and I'm like, I want to know what's being said in every other clubhouse about torque. When the pitching coach sits down with his staff before a Tiger series, is every pitching coach around the league saying the same thing? Just throw him this. Or this sequence of pitches he can't let. Like, what is it?
Well, I found it interesting when I was listening to Hinch on the way over here today that, a lot of it is, you look at breaking pitches, he says it's guesswork. You're guessing on a breaking pitch if you're going to hit it, and you have to make that decision before the ball's thrown. So a lot of it is just in your head. What do you expect to face in this particular pitch in the count? And if you're wrong, you're dead wrong. If you're expecting fastball and here comes a breaking pitch, it's hard to adjust.
All right, we'll have more from the skipper, A.J. Hinch, including Wenzel Perez. Is this going to continue? And how he handled the pitching staff yesterday in Game 1. All that next, followed by Tiger Baseball here on 97.1 The Ticket. Hey, it's hump day at Twin Peaks, and you know what that means. Bourbon and Brews. Twin Peaks girls, they're in their hot black lingerie ready to help you cure those midweek blues. Stop in from 5 to 7 to sample weekly specials from their extensive list of high-quality bourbons and whiskeys. They'll even sample one of their excellent craft cocktails. And did you know that Twin Peaks has added more time to their daily party? All lodges are now open later, and that means an extra hour of happy hour, Monday through Thursday. Late night happy hour starts at 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday and runs till midnight. That gives you late workers or night owls an extra hour to take advantage of their amazing happy hour specials. Bring the crew over to enjoy amazing deals on shareable items like the $3 fried pickles, the $5 hand-cut and breaded to-order mozzarella cheese bites. Wash it down with great drink deals like the $3 Wells and $4 Tall Domestics, or buy a round of cheap shots for the group priced at $3.99. Come in today and see why Twin Peaks does it better than anyone else. Twin Peaks, to find a location nearest you, go to twinpeaksrestaurant.com. That's twinpeaksrestaurant.com. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. Tucker, Scott Anderson, 97 won the ticket. This guy.
I know that guy, right?
You know, I don't know why I liked him because he was good at everything. One of our former employees is here. Like, irritatingly so. You're playing golf with him, and ball would land a foot to the left. And, now I got a downhill putt. Shut up. Just shut up.
He's just a jerk.
Yeah, he's the worst. The worst cool guy I know. All right, let's get to feedback as it comes in. No, I've checked that. Let's get to A.J. Hinch. Was on the morning show today and was talking about Wenzel Perez, homers from both sides of the plate. The guy's been great. He's fitting into the outfield, and he's making A.J. Hinch play him. There was some scuttlebutt in the spring that he might be able to help this team out, although I don't think anybody would have predicted he'd hit home runs before Torque. But here he is, and here's what A.J. Hinch had to say about him. Gator, we do something on the show called Bold Ass Predictions.
Yeah.
Where we try to get people to, stretch it a little bit. But, hey, I think this is possible. But we also talk about crossing the line where it becomes a dumbass prediction.
That's right.
Anybody that predicted all of this for Wenzel Perez, we might have called it a dumbass prediction. That's how unexpected this is and how great it is. And sort of out of the blue, although people paying close attention, like I've seen some, there's started a bit of a buzz about him this spring. But still, I think this has been one of the more pleasant surprises. And you compared it to Keel Badu, and it's right. Hey, it's great. Ride it while it's hot. Doesn't mean it's going to last.
No, it doesn't. But it doesn't mean I also don't have, hope that he'll be a baseball player in the future too. I mean, we've seen guys get off the hot starts, and this is just a couple of weeks here. It's not like, he's done it for 2 months. I like what I see. I've been following him in the minor leagues over the last few years too. So he's got a lot of versatility, and that's good because you want to find places for him to play. And if guys aren't going to hit, then he needs to play. And, he's an infielder by trade. So you look at like a Colt Keith situation. Colt Keith has not hit yet, and I'm not sure how much longer he's going to get to try to hit at this level. I know A.J. Hinch has said that he's not going to want him looking over his shoulder. He wants to keep him here and, have better at-bats. Like to see him start hitting the ball harder, but if he doesn't, then does that open up second base as a possibility too, where Perez has played in the minors? I mean, it might, particularly with Ibanez. Ibanez is out for a couple weeks, comes back, and immediately starts hitting the baseball. Did it in a couple games stint that he had with Toledo, and then comes up here and boom, right away, base hits. And Andy Ibanez is one of these guys that again he's kind of like a ride it while it's hot. So they've got a couple of those guys right now that they've been relying on. Sadly, a large part of the lineup is not hot right now, and the first month's out of the way. Maybe it's different now, just because you flip the calendar to May. Are things going to change? We'll see.
All right. The guys asked him a question about pulling Flaherty when he had one of his lower pitch counts of the year, and going with Shelby Miller in the ninth and not letting Foley continue. And here is what A.J. Hinch said.
Blackout talked a lot. He had done his part. What was his reaction after his last punch out when he got him out and sort of the deep sigh of relief? Like, that was like him out. And Chase came in and did his part, and that wrapped around into the 8th. The Foley decision is really interesting. Like, most of the time, you know, I do love the middle of the order, but I don't want to lose the game in the 8th either. And when Chapin was getting into an area where we needed some ground ball, we needed some action, I wasn't going to do 1+. We made that decision during the beginning of the day. It was the third out of fourth day. I got him up a few days prior, so actually more like 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 6, depending on how you want to evaluate it. So brought him in the game to save the game in the 8th, knowing we had a full bullpen of going either Miller or Lang or Zach or Faito when they're pushing first third in the second game. So we had a lot of options, and I felt like that was an important. In a one-run game, you can move the game to 10-9. Protecting it in April is probably the most difficult thing to do because we feel like we can just wind these guys up with hits. Yeah, they have to do it for us. That doesn't tell the whole story. So when it doesn't work, it sucks. I know it, and I know the questions are going to come, and I get it. It's part of it. But you know, I always joke with you guys, and I say this all lightheartedly, like, you better hate it if it works too. Like, you better not like it when if Miller comes in and gets 3 or 3 down.
I got to tell you, listening,
I hate that.
listening to A.J. Hinch explain his decisions, you understand the logic behind it, but more so, he understands, and it's a great chance for him to get through to the fans. This is what I was thinking and why I was thinking it.
He does a great job of putting out the fire before it starts to smolder and get out of control here, and I really like that about him. I think he's very even-keeled. He's very professional when it comes to speaking with the media and trying to convey and articulate what it is that's going on. He's a very well-established manager in Major League Baseball. He's got there's certainly a dark shadow over one of the chapters of his career, but it's also a very bright spot because he's won a World Series. But I think he's the right guy for the job. He's got the right temperament for this, and yeah, he's right when it comes to handling pitching situations. It's a doubleheader, so you're going to go 1+, meaning 1+ inning. Are you going to let Foley finish out the 8th and pitch the 9th when you've got another game coming that you might want to use him for? Or you just look at how much they've used him in the last 3 games, and you can understand. I mean, it's a solid explanation as to why. And based on how the season had gone, would not have expected Shelby Miller to not get the job done in the 9th inning.
Great.
So, yeah. So it's one of those games. It's going to happen. Even Miguel Cabrera was able to hit a home run off of Mariano Rivera opposite field. These things happen.
Yep. You don't get all the calls right, but your job is to get more of them right than wrong. And at this point, I'm pretty comfortable with his decision-making. And the truth is, the bullpen use this year has been brilliant. The track record is there. We all credit the guys in the bullpen and forget about the guy who decided to put players in for certain matchups.
Well, today is May 1st, right?
Yes.
First of all, happy birthday to my nephew, Ben. Second of all,
happy birthday, Ben.
It is May 1st, and that means it's Kenta Maeda time.
Oh, that's right. You
His
love
splits
the
in May.
Yeah.
He's great in May, and he was great his last start out with no runs. Let's see if he gets back at it.
Well, that's Tiger Baseball next. Thanks to our crew down here at Coer Park. Kang back in our studio. Stay safe, everyone, and treat each other with respect. Tiger Baseball next on 97.1.